It's been 644 days since the fans at Auburn could truly pack historic Jordan-Hare Stadium. Tonight, 87,000 plus get to experience the tradition of the Eagle Flight, the Tiger Walk, and much more as Auburn gets set to hit the field for the 2021 season. Enjoy the spectacle and welcome home college football. So here we have it tonight, the Akron Zips in town to take on the Auburn Tigers from Auburn, Alabama. Not a bad way to start on this Saturday night, is it? Mike Corey, Ben Hartsock, Taylor Davis, great to have you with us wherever you may be. How about that to get this season started, huh, my friend?
It's emotion, it's passion, it's incredible. And when you think of passion, there are often expectations, and this Auburn fan base is one that isn't expectant. They want to be good. You take Gus Malzahn, you take last year and throw it away because of COVID. He averaged 9 wins a season. But the reality is he only won 2 bowl games, and they haven't won an SEC championship since 2013. So now there's a change, and Brian Harsin represents that change. He comes in with 3 Mountain West titles to hold, but a lot of people are wondering, does that matter in the SEC?
Well, we're going to find out for more on Auburn and what we can expect. Taylor Davis is with us. Taylor, what's happening?
Well, guys, speaking of expectations, there's plenty of them for third-year starting quarterback Bo Nix. This will be his 3rd offensive system and 3rd play caller of his career, but Coach Harsin said he spent a lot of time and hard work improving his passing game, specifically efficiency, and going back to the fundamentals of the game. I spoke with Bo Nix this week, who told me his focus is going to be consistency. Look, this is still an offense that wants to run the football, and Nix is efficient with his legs, but he knows the importance of implementing that passing game, and he'll do it with a new group of wide receivers. So week 1 is imperative, guys. As Nix told me, there's no better rep than a true game day.
All right, Taylor, how about on the other side now, Ben? You've got Akron coming in, 3rd-year head coach Tom Arth. You know him well. You played with him back in the NFL. What's he all about? What can we expect from the Zips here, you think?
Yeah, Tom Arth is a guy that when I was his teammate, we all knew with certainty that he would be a head coach someday. And he's a guy that's on the rise, but he's a guy that recognizes the circumstance that he's in. But when we talk to him, he's got a recipe he thinks that he can roll out here today and trick and keep these guys on edge a little bit, and it's going to really lay on the shoulders of his young quarterback.
That is correct, and their quarterback for the Akron Zips, Cato Nelson, wasn't playing last year, took the year off. He's back now. What do we got here with Cato?
Yeah, a guy that took last season, and when the MAC canceled its football slate, he had shoulder surgery, elective shoulder surgery, and then they reinstated the season, and he's a guy caught without a throwing arm. So he sat on that sideline and learned a lot, tried to soak in as much as he possibly could. He learned about details. He learned about being more and more on point with his decision making, and he's a guy that is excited to get back out there and to lead his team today.
Well, one thing you can't simulate is this atmosphere here tonight at Auburn. The place is electric, obviously, as you can see. Close to 17,000 students here in the whiteout. They got the shakers going. Everything's coming back the way you expected here this season. It's great to see.
This is the way that college football is supposed to be. It truly is. You can feel the passion. We drove around last night. This energy around campus is absolutely buzzing. Everyone is fired up today.
Akron won the toss, and they have elected to receive to start this game. And coming from right back out of the student section there, the Akron Zips. It's going to be Michael Matheson. He's back deep. Anders Carlson will get things started for Auburn here, and we're underway for both teams in their opener of this 2021 season. And so Cato Nelson's going to come out here now from Hollywood, Florida. A guy that started his career back in 2016, redshirted back in 2016, his sixth season or year, if you will, here at Akron.
Yeah, he's a guy that is going to run the full gamut. They don't do what I call the prairie dog offense, where they look over to the sideline to get the play call from their coaches. He's going to make the checks at the line of scrimmage. He's going to make those adjustments, and he feels like he's equipped in that offseason to do that this year.
Jonzel Dice Norrell starts in the backfield to the right of Nelson for the first play of the game, and he gets the call. And is going to be stacked up after a gain of 1. Let's take a look at some impact players here tonight. Ben, what are you looking for here with this group?
Well, when I look at the Akron Zips, I look at Michael Matheson, the wide receiver. Cato has, every quarterback has a favorite guy, a guy that he has that chemistry with, and Michael Matheson is that guy. Anthony Williams is a transfer running back from Michigan State. Expect big things out of him. And on the defensive side of the ball, both of those linebackers are real studs.
They're going to spread him out here, and Nelson goes to the pass, and it's caught by George Claus. And he's dropped just across the 33-yard line, a couple yards shy of a first down. This is what we were told. They want to try to spread out this Auburn defense. They said they're not going to have a lot of guys back there in max protect. What's your feeling on that?
Yeah, they're going to try to keep their tempo mixed up, and that's what we're seeing right now. They're trying to get up and use a little bit tempo. They're going to do everything they have in their tool chest to try to keep this Auburn defense off kilt.
And Auburn's got to be better on third down. You saw it, 50% completion percentage last year allowed by the Auburn defense on third down.
Yeah, we talked with Derek Mason about that. That was the one stat defensively that they really focused on this offseason, and Derek's answer was simple. It was, we have to keep them in third and long. We can't be in third and short situations. This is a situation right here where Derek Mason has a lot of opportunities. He has got a lot of tools in his tool chest. Coming over from Vandy, you've got guys that are just so talented. I mentioned Zacoby McClain and Owen Papo. So many talented guys. Transfers on the defensive line position. Tony Fair comes from UAB. Marcus Harris transfers in from Kansas. These guys are really talented young football players.
What do you want to see here on third down and 3 for Akron right now in this group?
Well, I don't expect to see a lot of exotic right here. The reality is they should be able to line up and beat their guys.
Third and 3 for the Zips, opening series of the game. Norrells has it, and he is going to have the first down. Gets across the 35, and the chain will move, and a good job by Akron here to kind of settle in and pick up a first down.
A huge win, opening game of the season for this Akron football team, simply to keep the drive alive. There's not many people giving them a puncher's chance in this game. So to get a first down, just keep good things going, one play after the other, stack them up.
Another give to Norrells off the right side. And not much this time. Norrells is back as a freshman. You get the year back. Last year with COVID, he played in only 2 games, carried about 30 yards and a touchdown. What do you think about his progression here, the freshman at Toledo, Ohio?
Yeah, when you talk to Brian Gasser, the offensive coordinator, he said he's a young player. He's a guy that has to learn to run behind his pads a little bit. What does that mean? He needs to run with a little bit more balance, tends to get a little bit too forehead heavy, and doesn't have the ability to bounce off and ricochet off of tacklers. Pressure off the slot.
Monkfield goes in motion. It's back to Norrells, running hard here for Akron, up to the 43, 3 yards shy of a first. Roger McCreary on the tackle.
So you mentioned Kanante Mumfield, a freshman that comes from the outside of the formation back into the backfield. I think that's something that Tom Arthur is going to continue to do, is he's going to get the wide receivers from out into the formation, into the backfield. He's got to find advantageous matchups, and if you can find a way to get a wide receiver on a linebacker, that's a matchup they like.
4 runs and 1 pass so far as Nelson keeps, and he is going to have another first down. Cato Nelson on the keeper, gain of 5, 2 first downs for Akron. Colby Wooden is now down, injured player here for Auburn, as he gets up as they attend to him and helping him off the field here on the near sideline.
A run pass option right there, where Cato Nelson was reading a defender and ultimately then pulls the ball back and decides to run it himself. Nelson is a really electric player when he has the ball in his hands. We got the injured player on the side.
How big is he for this Auburn defense? Colby Wooden. Coach has said he's been consistently great throughout training camp. The guy had 4 sacks last season, tied for first on the team, and he's being attended to on the sideline.
He's 3rd in the SEC last season in tackles for loss.
Anthony Williams is now in the running back spot for the Zips, as they have a fresh set of downs here at their own 47. Nelson. And probably get close to the line of scrimmage there as Zykeedius Walker was there to make the play. He talked about how he has to be better with the football in his decision making, especially limiting the amount of sacks that they've had in years past, right, Ben?
Yeah, when you have an athletic quarterback, both of these teams have athletic quarterbacks, you have to kind of balance the good with the bad. They always believe that they can escape from any situation. I believe that Akron's going to give a lot more leash to Cato Nelson to be more creative today when they're outmatched.
Second and 10, and Nelson loses the football, and it's going to be recovered by Akron, and Xavier Gray, the left tackle, able to get back on it, but all the way back at his own 34-yard line, a huge loss.
When you see the empty backfield, another way to try to find an advantageous matchup, you move the running back out of the backfield, so now you've got a lot of running lanes for your quarterback, but unfortunately you don't have a lot of protection. That offensive line is struggling right there, and it looks like the ball was batted out of his hand.
That's a loss of 13 on the play, and it's now 3rd and 23. Nelson dumps it off to Williams, and that's not going anywhere. Owen Papo on the tackle for the Tigers, and it's 4th down.
Owen Papo is one of this linebacker trio, really. Tremendous athlete, a guy that is absolutely all over the field, sideline to sideline. Derek Mason was really high on him. Watch him as he keeps his eyes on the quarterback and is able to read and react, clamp on to the running back, an easy tackle.
Ethan Slyke will kick here for Akron, and Javarius Johnson is back to return for Auburn, and he has it at the 25. An 11-yard return, and the Tigers will be on offense for the first time in this 2021 season when we come back after this. No score, first quarter action here from Auburn as the Tigers and Bo Nix get on offense for the first time this season. No points for Akron in that last sequence. They got 2 first downs, took 5.5 minutes off the clock. Here's Nix's numbers. Your take on what he's done so far in his career?
Well, he's a Jekyll and a Hyde type of guy, and he's a guy that wants to clean up those mistakes and just be more consistent.
Tank Bixby starts in the backfield, and he gets the call on first down and picks up 4 yards for Auburn. As we look at impact players now, while Auburn is on offense, one of them is Bixby.
Yeah, Tank Bixby is a guy, freshman of the year in the SEC, just a very, very talented guy. And then Nick Brahms at the center, he's going to be identifying all of the different looks that Akron is trying to throw at him.
Bigsby again. He's going to be a couple yards shy of a first down. That's a gain of 4 as Jess Lord Boateng on the tackle for Akron.
And Tank Bigsby is a guy that I really like watching him on tape. He's a one-cut type of runner. He's a guy that can be running full speed towards the sideline, take one giant post step, and change direction once. I tell you, it feels like I'm going to rip my hip out of socket watching him change direction.
3rd and 2 for Auburn. Nix fires, catch is made. Shedrick Jackson, first down in midfield. Gain of 7.
Mike Bobo's going to try to continue to get Bo Nix comfortable. Easy, short, quick reads. Try to get him in the flow of the game.
Back to Bigsby, makes the first man miss, and gets close to another Auburn first down. Taylor, how about your take on Bo Nix and what you've seen this offseason?
Well, as you guys said, some inconsistencies early in his career, and that's something he's well aware of. Coach Bobo told us it's been a balancing act. Look, this is a guy with raw athletic ability. Think about the stages he's handled as a true freshman and as a sophomore. You want him to stick with that instinctive football, which I think we're still going to see. They just want him to settle in that pocket, make better decisions, and continue to lead this offense the way he's capable of.
Pretty good pass there, and another catch by Jackson for another first down for Auburn. That's a gain of 8.
And you can see the Akron defense there doing a lot of ththings, trying to keep safety help over top, a lot of cushion between Bo Nix, or these wide receivers, and these defenders. There's just a big cushion there. Bo Nix has a lot of time, and he's got a lot of space for him to make easy throws.
Here's Bigsby, and look out! Tank Bigsby, touchdown Auburn.
.33-yard touchdown, easy run for Tank Bigsby right there. A huge size advantage for this Auburn offensive line. They, on average, are 65 pounds heavier than the Akron defensive line. They're getting a ton of displacement and a lot of big running lanes for Tank Bigsby.
Carlson misses the extra point, but they will take the 6 on Tank Bigsby's first touchdown of this 2021 season. He had 5 last year. The SEC Rookie of the Year. Picking up right where he left off. 6-0 Tigers. That's Independence and his first flight here tonight. The Eagle flight here at Auburn. That was a sight to see. And they had the flyover, the crowd, the pageantry. College football back here tonight from Auburn, Alabama. We love it.
Yeah, I've watched that flight a million times on television. It is a whole different experience to see it in person. Really, really impressive.
All right, so Tank Bigsby got the scoring started here tonight. Officially a 32-yard touchdown run. They missed the extra point, which is unlike Anders Carlson, who's preseason All-American here, the kicker for Auburn, as he'll kick off. And again, Matheson back deep for Akron. He's got a chance at a return from the 6. Matheson to the 20. Coming up later tonight on the SEC Network, SEC Football Final is back, hosted by Dari Noka, Gene Chizik, Chris Doring, Ben Watson. They'll all be aboard. They'll take you through the biggest stories of the day and break down all the games. That's coming up 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. Don't miss that coming up tonight. Cato Nelson and the Akron Zips, they converted 2 short third downs on that opening drive. but fumbled the ball on a 13-yard loss, stalled things. Nelson on the rollout. Not much. Taylor?
Well, guys, you already acknowledged the atmosphere here at Auburn. Let me confirm it is loud down here, and it's something this Akron offense knew they'd have to work against. You'll notice quarterback Cato Nelson is using a clap cadence here today. That is not typical for him. He is usually a verbal cadence guy, so that is a change for this offense. They're having to work against noise that they're not accustomed to. It seemed effective in that first drive, but definitely something to watch for.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can, in a loud environment, trigger the start of a play. The clap has become one of the more popular ones.
They split him out again, empty backfield. Nelson in trouble, and he's going to be flung down by Derek Hall. Loss of 3.
So more and more empty backfield. And unfortunately for the Akron offense, their left tackle is just not able to hold up against Derek Hall. He's a guy that is going to be asked to rush. He's going to be asked to drop at that edge position that Derek Mason uses. And that's going to be something that it'll be interesting if Auburn makes adjustments, that when they go empty, often defenses will go to a blitz package. But right now they're getting home with just their 4-down linemen.
Saw his mother Stacy in the hotel earlier this morning. His grandparents Bobby and Bert in the house here tonight, along with 15 family members. And they saw a great play that he just made. And another one here as the defense collapses on Nelson. Marcus Harris this time, number 50. And it's 4th down once again.
Marcus Harris is the guy that comes in from Kansas as a transfer. He's a guy that can play inside at that 3 technique, but he can also rush from the outside. Akron continuing to go empty backfield. They're hoping that it'll open up run lanes for Cato Nelson to potentially take once the play breaks down. But the Auburn defense doing a good job of keeping Cato Nelson hemmed in.
Slike gets it away. Johnson, fair catch for Auburn at his own 34. '50-yard kick with 4:32 remaining first quarter of action. 6-0 Tigers on the opener tonight from Jordan-Hare Stadium. And we will take a break and be back. And we'll see more of Bo Nix after this. Auburn's on top 6-0, 4:32 to play here in the first. Tank Bigsby then 49 yards in that last drive, including the touchdown.
Yeah, and you see it's really easy right now. All he has to do is break one arm tackle there to get deep into the secondary, and right here doesn't get touched until it's the safety coming up from over top, breaks one diving tackle, an easy touchdown conversion.
And it's right back to him, and again making tacklers miss and dragging tacklers across midfield. And Tank Bigsby, a gain of 16. How powerful is he? 6 foot, 208. And the SEC Rookie of the Year showing his strength here early. 1st and 10 from midfield. Nix on time, and the catch is made by John Samuel Shanker, the tight end.
Just take a look here at these running lanes. There's just big displacement, really an easy crease for him to get through. And then once you get to that second level, 2, 3, 4 guys, he has a great combination of both speed and power.
Nix with all day in the pocket, surveys and finds Bigsby in the flat. Bigsby, first down, diving inside the 25. And all day back there, Ben, and then Bigsby, I mean, he was wide open.
Well, Mike Bobo dials up a shot play right there. Big play action. Your run game is absolutely dominant. Big play action. Bo Nix is able to come out of the top of that play action fake, take a look downfield. Now, in years past, he maybe would have tried to force that ball in there. Instead, gets it to the check down and keeps this drive alive.
Bigsby, after a gain of 19, has a much-deserved breather on the sideline. Sean Shivers is in now to the left of Nix as it's 1st down and 10. Nix on the keeper. Nice design there. That's a gain of 7.
Well, you can see that the Akron Zips defense is focused in trying to stop that run, but when you have a tremendous athlete like Bo Nix, I don't know if that was called for him to pull or if he just read that backside defensive end, but he is a tremendous athlete. Mike Bobo said he's never coached a better athlete at the quarterback position.
Second down and 3 for Auburn. Just under 3 minutes to go, first quarter. Shivers, and he is tackled in the backfield. Nice play there by Jess Lord Boateng. That's his second tackle tonight. And how about that offensive line? You talked about the disparity there and the difference. How about 52? Nick Brahms leading the way, third-year starter at center.
Yeah, just a tremendously respected teammate on this Auburn football team. A 4.0 GPA, a licensed pilot. We got to see a picture of him standing next to the small plane.
Yeah.
He was bigger than the plane. I'm surprised it could carry him.
Nix. Little low, but it's hauled in for the first down of the catch. Javarius Johnson. And that'll give them a fresh set of downs. And more on that offensive line. Taylor, what do you have?
Well, guys, as we all know, such a key piece of an effective offensive line is chemistry as a unit. And that's something that Bo Nix says he absolutely has with this year's group. These are guys that have played together. Some of them even played at the same level elsewhere. But I've actually been watching them on the sideline. Bo speaks with them a good bit. There's very open lines of communication between them. Maybe not something we've seen as clearly at Auburn in the past, but it's certainly showing itself here.
Well, and Nix looks sharp here as he hands off to Bigsby, looking for his second touchdown. A flag is thrown as he's tackled inside the 5-yard line. We'll check the call. Nix is 5 for 5 for 52 yards passing tonight.
And you can see the Mike Bobo and the Brian Harsin.
On the offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
First penalty of the night, Austin Troxell, the left tackle.
That was a very compressed formation right there. Multiple tight ends. A fullback in the background is actually John Samuel Schnecker, the tight end that was in the fullback position. That is that downhill, hard-nosed style of football that Brian Harsin wants to have this Auburn football team run.
So backed up now, Shivers is in, gets the pass from Nix. Shivers, touchdown! Wow, what a run!
So Auburn is just really hitting on all cylinders right now. Look at this block on the outside, 47 right there on Arslanian, allows Shivers to continue to run that football. Great downfield blocking. Those are the details that Brian Harsin wants to continue. That's that discipline, work for your brother, that he wants to continue to strive and strain for here at Auburn.
A lot of great blocks downfield. 25, Kalen Newton. 47, John Samuel Shanker. Touchdown by Shivers. Nix is 6 for 6 now with a touchdown pass. Carlson will try to add the extra point this time. And that one's good. It's pretty darn good 1-2 combination of the running backs, huh?
Yeah, and you can see that the Auburn offense is making its adjustments. The Akron defense is continuing to keep a lot of cushion deep, trying to keep safety help over top. And what they're doing is they're just responding with letting Bo Nix throw hitch routes and throw swing routes to this running back out of the backfield. Let all of those defenders get deep to keep a cushion. You throw a swing route to the talented Sean Shivers. You get a great block by your tight end on the outside. He bowls over a couple people. Really, really impressive.
2 possessions for Auburn. Touchdown drives of 65 and 66 yards. Out of pocket with Alyssa Lang and Andrea Carter take you inside the world of SEC sports with laid-back interviews, lots of laughs, and Lang's signature passion for finding the best food the SEC has to offer. The show is 1 hour now every Wednesday at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Speaking of great food, we were at Akron last night for dinner right here in Auburn, Alabama. How good was that?
Had a spectacular charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Had some. I think you guys had some halibut. I had the fillet. Lots of good things.
Some flat iron steak.
Yeah, pristine outdoor eating environment last night. Really impressive.
Got to thank Taylor, who she knows the area. This is her town, and she alerted us to all the spots. So thank you, Taylor. It's been great. First 6 plays, 22 yards. They were moving the football. They got a couple of first downs, but then they had that fumble, right? A 13-yard loss. That's where you get off schedule, right, Ben? That's when things start to really kind of fall apart. And then the last 6 plays, they lost 22 yards.
Yeah, Tom Arth talked about it. The ball is everything, both offensively and defensively. You put the ball on the ground, and that just invigorates the Auburn defensive line to pin those ears back and continue to get after the quarterback.
A little bit of movement here. Here come the flags.
Ball start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
And I got the left guard that time, Nate Williams, a true freshman. Auburn's had 3 tackles for loss in the last 4 plays in this game. You know, and when you look up and down the offensive line for Akron, right, Ben, every single player, I mean, whether it's a 2 deep or even go 3 deep, is either a freshman or a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, they got some experience last year, but it was a tough road to hoe for them last year. And they're getting baptized by fire again by a talented defensive line.
Nelson steps up in the pocket and fires low and incomplete, looking for Keontae Mumfield.
Boy, and Derek Hall from that edge position on the left tackle continues to wreak havoc, coming right around that edge, right around Cato Nelson's ankles, forcing him to step up in the pocket and get that ball out just a touch quicker than he wanted to.
Yeah, Ben, you mentioned it. This Xavier Gray-Derek Hall matchup is certainly a mismatch. I'm seeing it on the sideline. Look, Xavier Gray is a massive tackle. He is listed at 6'9", 315, but his movement off the ball is substantially slower than Derek Hall, the guy that had 3.5 sacks in Auburn's final few games last season. Expect it to continue to be a mismatch.
High throw hauled in by Tristan Brank, the tight end, true freshman for Akron there on the catch.
Akron's going to have to continue to find ways to attack this Auburn defense. Looks like they've completely abandoned the run game after struggling early. They had a couple of successful runs early, but they're going to have to continue to find creative ways, whether it's pulling offensive linemen, maybe trying a jet sweep, screens. They're going to have to continue to find ways to move this football.
3rd down and 7, and a pass goes out and is caught by Oran Singleton Jr. He's right at the stick, but apparently just a little bit shy, half a yard shy of the first down. And that's right before the 35-yard line.
And there's another example of taking a wide receiver and moving him into the backfield. Let him run the swing route out of the backfield. Cato Nelson delivers a good throw, and they're able to get out and downward. Looks like we're going to take a shot here. 4th down. They're going for it.
They don't have to snap it here as the clock is winding down in this first quarter. You'd think they might wait and talk it over, and they're going to try to draw Auburn offsides. Exactly. Oh, they do snap the ball, and it's a fumble, and Nelson is going to get back on it. He has it, and a first down for Akron. Man, you thought, why not take a moment, right? They want to go for it here.
Yeah, you maybe try to draw them offsides. You could hear Cato Nelson with the big giant clapped, and you saw some movement at that offensive and defensive line, some offensive linemen flashing those fingers, doing anything to try to draw the Auburn the defensive line off sides. And then in the moment of hesitation, the ball is actually snapped, and they're able to try to get the first down, but the ball ends up on the ground.
See, what happens is you can't advance it on the fumble. The runner is the only one that could recover it up the field, so it goes back to the spot of the fumble, and the spot of the fumble is just shy of the first down. So it's going to be Auburn football. Auburn is going to take over here on downs.
A little bit of a crease there, but that ball is out quick and early, and Cato Nelson, as the ball went past the line of scrimmage, It's not like he moved it, though.
Now it's going to be Auburn football when we come back with the start of the second quarter, and they lead Akron 13-0 here at home. 13-0 Auburn here over Akron. Start of the second quarter. Welcome back to Auburn, Alabama. Mike Corey, Ben Hartsock, and Taylor Davis as the Tigers have it now just inside the Akron 35. Nix wants it all. He's got a wide open man. It's Javarius Johnson. Touchdown.
That same spot of the field in the previous drive, they try to take a shot. Bo Nix checks down on the previous drive. This time finds an open receiver, wide open, a lot of misdirection. Boot action, get your athletic quarterback on the move, delivers a perfect strike. This has been a perfect start for Bo Nix's 2021 season.
No doubt about it, 34-yard touchdown pass. Carlson makes it 20-0 Auburn. And just like that, Ben, you know, you turn it over, well, on downs, first play, Auburn, touchdown. What happened here?
Well, you've got a lot of moving parts. You've got the jet sweep option, boot, where you've got the swing pass moving to the far side of the field, and Nix just absolutely comfortable, and you find the receiver without anybody. All of that heavy play action brings back all the linebacker and safety, and Javarius Johnson is able to run over the top, not a man within 10 yards of him. Bo Nix has really started this game comfortably. They set him up easy with a couple of short hitches. There's a ton of cushion from the Akron defensive secondary, so he takes a lot of deeper hooks, and now they've given him a couple of deep shots, and he has been so poised throughout this entire game.
Nothing wrong with 7 for 7 with 105 yards and a touchdown. Here's what happened with Akron previously, right? Williams is the ball carrier. He's the only one that can recover a fumble if it's fumbled forward, right? And he did not. It was Cato Nelson that got it. So the ball has to go back to the spot of the fumble. And where you see he fumbled, it was at the 34.5-yard line, half a yard shy of the first down. And so Auburn took over and they scored.
It wasn't knocked out. He just never had grasp of the ball. When the ball comes out, he would have been able to convert. That's a huge moment that Akron could have kept the drive alive, and unfortunately leads to 7 for Auburn.
Well, and Ben, we mentioned it too. The clock was winding down at the end of the first quarter. There was 13 seconds to go. They didn't have to snap it. They could have had the end of the first quarter to maybe discuss things. Instead, they kind of rush it. He fumbles. And look what happens. It's a 7-point swing.
You have to wonder if that's the freedom that this Akron coaching staff gives to Cato Nelson, to have that freedom to make that decision. Listen, if you think you can get the ball to your running back and convert, we give you that flexibility to do it.
Norrells is in the backfield. 1st and 10 from the 25. Play fake Nelson. He's going to take off and makes a man miss. Nice move. And he's about a yard shy of the first now.
That's a good first play right there. Good job by Cato Nelson stepping up in the pocket, avoiding the rush. Now short, second and short.
Wow, this Auburn defense converging on Norrells for the loss of a yard, and it's going to be 3rd and 2. They just have the size. There's Moultrie, 6'2", 253, playing in his 50th career game, which is 2nd all-time at Auburn.
Well, you just watch that line of scrimmage just get ejected back into the Akron backfield. Tony Fair, I mean, that is a huge human right there, and Moultrie as well. They're just a different weight class of athlete here down in the SEC.
Movement again as a flag flies here on 3rd and 2.
That's twice now that these Akron offensive line are trying to get a
Ball
jump.
start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
When you go off of a silent count, you often are moving off of instinct. You hear the noise and then you expect the snap to go. And right there, it's Xavier Gray trying to do his best. He's struggling mightily against Derek Hall on that edge, and he jumps.
We were talking about that earlier. You said not only a half second less than that, is the difference sometimes, right, of a defensive player getting a jump on you.
Oh, it's instantaneous. A tenth of a second is the difference between a sack and a well-executed pass block.
Third down, Nelson needs the 35. He's not going to get there, and he's cut down by Zacoby McClain. He makes the tackle. It's going to be fourth down from the 32. Punt team has to come on here. That's 3 straight drives now without a first down for Akron. Ethan Slyke again, the punter. Javarius Johnson is back at his own 27 for Auburn. I mean, the Tigers gave up 2 first downs, and then they've been lights out since on the defensive side. Oh, falling down is Johnson, but ball's going to scoot out of bounds, and Auburn will have it inside their own 10 when we come back. 60-yard kick, but the Tigers well in command here early with a 20-0 advantage. All right, so Brian Harsin, the new head coach here at Auburn. Athletic director Alan Green, we caught up with him down on the field. It was a long search. They settled on Harsin, and I think it's a great pick. What do you like about this guy?
Well, I just love that he is down to earth and blue collar. He's a guy that likes to get into practice drills with his players, and he wants to instill a lot of discipline, toughness, and belief that this team can get back to where Auburn fans want it to be.
Play fake, Nix over the middle. The man is open, and the catch is made. Cedric Jackson. What a catch. 42 yards to midfield.
Another giant shot play, heavy play action. Keep your eye on Bo Nix. He holds that ball out on the play action fake. He keeps his eyes downfield, a very compressed formation. And Cedric Jackson is able to run away from that secondary for a big catch.
Robertson on the catch. Blockers in front. Picks up about 8 yards.
So you notice when Cedric, as he's running this route, he's able to press into the defender and then run away from where his trouble is. Bo Nix could have had a little bit more loft, could have led him a little bit more, but when you're that wide open, go for the sure thing.
How about Nix? He's 9 for 9 passing in this game here for Auburn tonight. Early second quarter, 11:45 to go. And the first down by Bigsby. Taylor, what was the vibe like, the community Auburn, when Harsin was hired?
Even Coach Harsin acknowledged that there was a little bit of just unfamiliarity. I think so many times you see hires like this, and it's so often coordinators within the conference or even someone that was already on staff. He came in and said, look, I know you guys have no idea who I am, but I'm going to run this program on hard work, and he's done just that. He told us this week he wants to see a disciplined team, a tough team, and a team that believes they can win. And what I know about this Auburn fan base, they can get behind that.
Here's Bigsby on first down for a couple yards. We asked him about his first year at programs like Arkansas State and then back at Boise where he was familiar, and now his first year here at Auburn.
Yeah, he talked about when he went from Boise to Texas, from a group of 5 school to an autonomous 5 school. You expect everything to be well executed, well oiled, and off you go. But he said the reality is it's messy. Developing young 18 to 22-year-old young men is a messy process no matter where you're at.
Hey, he says you have to deal with some of the same things no matter where you are sometimes. We know facilities and the community and the fan base, everything's amazing here, but you still have to get your plan in place and your tendencies and what you want to achieve. He has discipline, be physical, and believe they can win as the top 3 things that he told us that he wants his team to be.
Yeah, little symbolic things, like he's trying to teach his guys to do things that maybe are a little more difficult but are a little more fun. He says, don't take the elevator. It's no fun on the elevator. Take the stairs. I don't know if I believe him, but he's trying to pitch it.
Well, we asked him about it. He said he got a little bit blown out of proportion that he doesn't allow the players to take the elevator. They could, but he says, let's take the stairs. Let's climb it. Nix comes it up top, and he's got another touchdown. Kobe Hudson, look out. 28-yard strike, his third of the night.
And you've got 3 deep safeties right there. You go right in between the numbers in the hash, split between those, the cornerback and the safety. Bo Nix puts it back towards the near field shoulder to avoid a big contact, comes down with a giant touchdown.
All right, Auburn fans, Bo Nix, 10 for 10. 3 touchdowns, 27-6 Tigers. All right, well, Ben, you said at the start of the game you thought Nix was a little streaky. I guess it's a pretty good streak here going on, right?
This is exactly what you want if you're Mike Bobo and Brian Harsin, trying to get this. Bo Nix is such an electric type of athlete. You've got to get him comfortable, and this is a perfect start to his season.
He's on pace for a 30 for 30 game of 549 yards and 9 touchdowns. We'll see if he can hold it up. All right, hey, coming up every Saturday, Marty and McGee and SEC Nation bring you extensive SEC game previews that you won't find anywhere else. Next Saturday morning, M&M will be in Fayetteville at the University of Arkansas, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 Central, followed by SEC Nation, both on the SEC Network and the ESPN app, so don't miss that. Well, we all knew it was going to be a tough task coming in for the Akron Zips here tonight. Tom Arth, you played with him back with the Indianapolis Colts. You said all along that you thought he was going to be a head coach. He wanted to be a coach, and he wanted to stay here with Akron. This is his 3rd season.
Yeah, Brandon Staley was a teammate and a coach with him at John Carroll, took the head coaching job at the Los Angeles Chargers, and the job was Arth's to take. And his coaching staff and his player told him go, but he felt like, you know what? There's good things that I have to finish here in Akron.
Williams on the carry for Akron, and he'll get to the 27, pick up a couple yards. One win in the first 2 years of this program. He knows there's nowhere to go but up, obviously. There he is with Peyton back in 2003, 2005 time that he was there under one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, Peyton is an amazing teammate. I learned a tremendous amount, not even at the quarterback position, but just how to be a detailed, focused professional from Peyton, and I know Tom Arth did as well.
Pass is caught by George Qualtz, and a first down for Akron as they move the sticks up to the 39.
One of the great things was when Arth was thinking about continuing his football career, Peyton Manning gave him advice, get in the Tony Dungy coaching tree. Coach Dungy offered him a job, and Tom said, I want to keep playing. Peyton said, I want to play in the Masters. Take the job.
Saw a little bit on that quote there from Tom Arth about just what it meant to stay and be here at Akron, and wants to make, it says my heart is with making the biggest impact in the lives of the people around me, and that's a big statement. And Akron is a team now that has some work to do. He knows that. You wonder, as we talked about, this game of course is 27-0. What are you trying to get out of this first game right now if you're Akron? Nelson is flushed out, and he's got to throw it away.
Well, what Tom Arthur's doing is he's trying to just teach his guys it doesn't matter. And one of the things he talks about, he's used this phrase since his days at John Carroll, do things our way. Don't worry about whether we're playing Akron or whether we're playing Kent State. Do things our way. Be focused, be disciplined. And he talks about how that our way mantra is something that he hopes these guys carry into their lives once they're no longer football players.
John Carroll University talked about Division III school. He was the National Coach of the Year back in 2016. They went 12-2 that year, went to the national semifinal. Spent some time in Tennessee, Chattanooga, head coach there. And now here at Akron, his third season. As Nelson fires it out, finds Mumfield. Be a little bit shy of the first down. It's fourth down here halfway through the second.
And guys, you know, I've even seen some parallels in speaking with both Coach Arth and Coach Harsin this week. Both of them played quarterback. They began their coaching careers coaching quarterbacks, and that's kind of the way they are as head coaches now. They see things through the lens of the quarterback. And in speaking with their respective players, the words that are mentioned are passion, intensity, and details. All goes back to the foundation.
Akron's going to go for it here on 4th and 2. And Matheson in the backfield. This is going to be a timeout taken by Auburn. And we'll take it with them here with 7:16 to play in the second quarter.
First time out this half.
4th and 2 for the Zips. Fourth down and 2 here for Akron. 7 minutes and 16 seconds to play in the second quarter. Akron has yet to cross midfield here tonight, Ben.
3 yards away. These are the risks that Akron has to take. Last time they did it, they unfortunately fumbled the football. That was 4th and 1. This is 4th and 2. That feels like a long ways for this Akron Zips football team to get.
Mumfield goes in motion. They spread him out. Nelson eludes pressure. Needs to get to the 49. Not going to happen. Moultrie, Wooden, and Auburn's defense. Lights out tonight.
Well, this defense is just so spectacular. Athletes all over the field on absolute display right there. Colby Wooden goes from inside out, and just look at the pursuit from all the levels. Right there is Jacoby McLean, scrapes all the way across the formation. This time Owen Papo goes out, finds the running back in the flat. This time you've got a defensive end chasing down an athletic quarterback. It's just too much to not enough right now.
5 tackles for loss tonight by Auburn defensively. They got more points, 27, than they've run plays here tonight. They've run 20 plays. This is their 21st, and it's a reverse to Robertson. And he jumps over the tackler out of bounds for a gain of about 6.
So this is the point of the game where Auburn and the coaching staff is going to say, guys, in their headsets, what do we want to accomplish before we let these starters get down? Before we put these guys on the bench, what do we want to see? Trick play right there. You're going to see potentially let Nix, if there's one last thing they want to see him do, if they want to give him a full field read, if you want to see Tank Bixby in pass pro, take some of these opportunities now before you put him on the bench in the second half.
Second down, Nix is pass caught by Jackson. He is still perfect on the night, throwing 11 for 11, first down.
First down from 31.
Now on the rollout, another man, and this one is overthrown for Hudson. First incompletion of the night tonight for Bo Nix. Right idea, though. I think they've mixed it up nicely here tonight.
Yeah, and that was just what I was going to say, Mike, is that Auburn has shown a lot of diversity in their fronts. When you hear buzzwords like downhill, you start thinking about compressed formations. You think about 2 and 3 tight ends, and we have seen that, but we've also seen some read option. We've seen some bootleg, and that helps an athletic quarterback like Bo Nix.
Look at that, 11 for 12, 190, and 3 touchdowns. Bigsby, and he's tripped up. And Boateng has made some nice plays tonight. The sophomore linebacker, number 9 for Akron, transfer out of Michigan State. He's been all over the field.
Yeah, and he's a guy that the defensive coordinator, Matt Feeney, talked about. He brings a bigger presence that's going to be able to hang from a weight perspective, be able to hang on to these guys and not let them run through those arm tackles.
3rd and 6. Another roll right. Low throw, but it is caught, and it's a first down. Johnson. Excellent grab.
You're starting to see some of these wide receivers get more and more comfortable.
1st and 10 from the 19.
9-yard pickup. Again, Shanker this time, the tight end on the catch. It's 2-man miss. Cavalry brings him down, but that's John Samuel Shanker. I know the fans here at Auburn are longing for the tight end, right? That's your former position, so they're getting them involved a little bit.
Yeah, but when you talk to Bobo and Coach Harsin, they said those tight ends, they'll throw them a bone every once in a while like that, but they're going to have those hands in the dirt, and they're going to be moving big defenders across the line of scrimmage. That's what a healthy dose of tight end play for Auburn University. I know that life. That was my life.
Yeah, right. We're going to shift the tight ends over here now. That's Fromm and Deal. They go to the right side of the offensive line. Shanker's in there as well, 47. We saw him in motion. It's a keeper by Nix. Blockers in front. Nix still on his feet. What a gutsy run down to the 2. Bubba Arslanian on the tackle for Akron. Haven't really called his name out too much here tonight. The leading guy for them defensively.
Yeah, he's the guy that really stirs the drink for them defensively, but he's the guy that just is undersized. He's try hard. And that play right there, we're going to take another look at this. We've seen Bigsby take that ball into the end zone, but it fakes out our cameraman right there. That time, Bo Nix gets the opportunity to pull that ball, get out on the edge, use some of his athleticism. You're going to need to do that a couple of times a game for Auburn.
Timeout Auburn. With 3:55 to play in this first half.
Auburn, 2nd timeout of the half.
So the Tigers driving again here, trying to tack on to this already 27-0 advantage here late in the first half. Thousands affected by Hurricane Ida urgently need support. Please donate at redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond to and help people recover from this disaster. Back here in Auburn, Alabama tonight. Season opener for the Tigers and the Zips. It is 1st and goal for Auburn. They're at the 2. Bigsby already has 1 rushing touchdown tonight. Flags fly here.
There's a flag.
False start, offense number 85. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
First mental error that I've seen out of Auburn today. That'll be the first tick, and I'm sure that Brian Harsin will amplify the magnitude of that. And the reality is, if that's a tight game, a 5-yard loss down here on the goal line absolutely changes the play call for Mike Bobo.
First and goal from the 7. Bigsby to the 1. And Arslanian on the tackle for the Zips. Bigsby, the first Auburn freshman, rushed for 100-plus yards in 3 straight games last year. He had 4 total. That was since Bo Jackson did it in 1982 and Michael Dyer in 2010. He averaged 6 yards a carry last season. 2nd and goal. Bigsby. Touchdown. Number 2 for him tonight.
That is old school football right there. That speaks to me. I've lined up in that formation many times over my career, but that feels like old school football. You got 3 tight ends in the game, and really it's Bubba Arslanian meets him in the backfield, but that's the talent of Tanks Bigsby to keep continuing to push, keep those legs driving, because he is caught well short, but he continues to strive and reach and get in for that touchdown.
Prior to the last couple plays, Auburn was averaging 11.5 yards a play. As Bigsby runs in for his 2nd touchdown tonight. Extra point's good. Bigsby's got 90 yards now with the 2 TDs on 11 carries. Auburn's had 5 possessions and has scored 5 touchdowns. They missed the first extra point of the game. How about the first half so far for Bo Nix, Auburn's quarterback?
Perfect. Just absolutely perfect. He has looked comfortable, and Mike Bobo told us, he said the feet will tell the story. An athletic quarterback like that can get happy feet sometimes, but look at him. He's planted in the pocket, eyes downfield. He takes the check down right there, not forcing something, finds a swing route. He's been diverse. He's been absolutely at ease in every circumstance. And here's a deep shot. Again, those feet were planted perfectly, not happy feet.
Yeah, guys, I've even noticed such a confidence of Bo down here on the field, and something different that you're seeing here tonight is a little bit of him under center. That is a Mike Bobo addition, and it's not something Bo's done. He's been in shotgun even back to high school, but he said he actually likes it. It gives him a different vantage point. It puts him closer to the defensive alignment, which after 2 years in different offensive systems, this guy has a lot of experience, especially pre-snap, and little nuances like that I think are aiding in his comfortability out here.
Taylor, how about off the field and Bo Nix being engaged right this offseason, and here as a student throughout his career, what's happening with him?
Yes, he proposed to his girlfriend Izzy Smoke this past offseason, who in perfect Auburn quarterback fashion, his fiance is an Auburn cheerleader, and that is just a storybook ending if I've ever heard it. But he actually said the nerves were pretty comparable to a game day. He said he felt more confident about the result, but the nerves were definitely there for him.
That's good stuff. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to play here in this first half. 34-0 Auburn. Cato Nelson in Akron back on offense as he slings it out and finds Norrells on the catch. One of the longest plays of the night for them as he goes down the sideline for a 1st and more and gains 17 yards.
So here's an opportunity for Tom Arth to find a victory for his team. Listen, go out and operate an up-tempo offense. We know that we're down significantly going into this halftime situation right here, but keep fighting, keep focused.
Same thing to Matheson this time, and Matheson is upended as he picks up about 4 yards. He's going to be one of the guys they need. Michael Matheson, sophomore wide receiver number 3. Had a couple of touchdown grabs last year. He's got a tremendous upside. They like him.
Cato Nelson said, and when I asked him, I said, give me a word for Michael Matheson. He said, open.
Yeah. He was that time.
Akron, 2nd timeout of the half.
Timeout Akron.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
One of the things you'll see here about this Akron football team is the ability that Cato Nelson has to do anything. He can change at the line of scrimmage. He can make the reads. He can check. He can check protections to whatever he wants. When you have 6 years of experience and a coaching staff that trusts you, you have a lot of freedom. And really, it has sparked this up-tempo where often Cato Nelson will be the one calling the plays in the huddle in a 2-minute situation. It can kind of bring a stagnant offense to life.
Just over a couple minutes away from halftime, and coming up at the half, you can watch the live performance of the Auburn University Marching Band on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app. That's all coming up at the half here tonight. Everything's back in full force. It's great to see. We started this 2021 season for the most part with everything here, especially at Auburn. As Nelson floats it up there and it's caught. He's got Mumfield on the catch. First down to the 45-yard line.
Akron continuing to go to the empty backfield set, but the adjustment there by Auburn was they brought 5 defenders. So that means that every one of those offensive linemen are one-on-one.
Nelson, pressure, gets away for the moment and is going to lose about 4 yards there. You know, and he's been all over the field tonight, Colby Wooden, right? He got banged up a little bit earlier. Obviously, he's come back in and has played well. Sophomore defensive end for the Tigers. Going to be a big part of their defense this year.
A lot of defensive guys flying all over the field. A lot of strength there by Cato Nelson to spin out of that tackle and get back near towards the line of scrimmage.
It's the first time that Akron has crossed midfield here tonight. Be faced with a 2nd down and 14.
I like the way they were using some screens, trying to find ways to get the ball into your playmakers' hands and let them try to make a play.
Maybe once again here, right, is Nelson, though, this time goes over the middle, and it's incomplete. Wanted Matheson. But you're right. I mean, they got Norrells out there on the flat. I mean, you could just see it developing if they want it as he comes down to the bottom of your screen.
Well, and there's a play right there where Nelson has got his eyes downfield. He's looking for Konante Mumfield, but that pocket is just collapsing in on him, and he's not able to keep those eyes downfield. It's just swallowing around him, forcing him to deliver that ball just a beat before he'd like to, and that leads to an overthrow.
Third down 14.
Bunch formation to the bottom for the Zips. Norrells will give it to him. And a safe call for a couple. Derek Hall on the tackle.
It'll be interesting to see what Brian Harsin does here, if he's going to let this clock run or if he's going to try to let his offense get the opportunity to run a 2-minute situation as well.
Yeah, they call timeout.
So now this is where you want to put the icing on the cake. We mentioned only the one penalty down near the goal line. They were able to overcome that, but you want to continue to run a clean, tight plan if you're the Auburn Tigers right now. So you want to go out and execute a 2-minute drive effectively going into the half.
Well, we talked about it at the start of the broadcast. You know, a lot of questions here. Of course, you have a new coaching staff. Brian Harsin comes in, and you know, there's a lot of things that you wonder what's going to happen. But you knew you had Bo Nix, right? I mean, Bo Nix has certainly shown out exactly, you know, what he's wanted to do here in this game. He's only had one incompletion, Ben, and he's been dominant tonight. So is Bigsby.
Yeah, and it just in the way that he's delivering the football. He's delivering it to his running backs on swing passes. He's got deep passes. He's taken shots. He's been able to move the pocket. He's been able to run on a read option. Really, everything that you want your quarterback to execute effectively, he has done well in this first half.
Next tonight, 13 of 14 with the 205 yards passing, the 3 touchdowns. There's the Tigers tonight overall, 317 yards and the 5 touchdowns. Perfect on all 5 of their drives.
And you've seen a mix of personnel. You've seen 11 personnel, which is 3 wide receivers and 1 tight end. You've seen 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. You've seen 13 personnel with 3 tight ends. You've seen bunch formations, shifts, motion, compressed formations, running back, fullback, lots of different variety. And that's going to be a lot of things that SEC defenses are going to have to study to prepare for this Auburn football team.
Shivers in the backfield, goes in motion. Next, a little screen set up here to Robertson. Gets to the 15-yard line. Mike Bobo has done a real nice job here tonight, the offensive coordinator. Like you said, mixing things up, getting a lot of different people and players involved in the offense, so you can see it. Swing out caught by Shanker. 3rd catch of the night tonight for the tight end. 10-yard gain, first down.
Good job by Shanker right there. He acts like he was going to go out and block. Remember, he had the great block to spring Shivers for the touchdown earlier going the other direction. This time he fakes the block, goes right around him, catches the ball, and gets out to stop the clock.
43 seconds to go. Another strong throw to Jackson on the catch.
Just continue to look at Bo Nix. He's just completely at peace, completely comfortable, confident, pointing his receivers all over the field. Really, really a wonderful start for this young man.
And now takes off. First down, Bo Nix. He had 7 rushing touchdowns last year. First on the team.
Well, just look at this athleticism. See him keeping his eyes downfield. But once he decides to make the run, jukes Jesslord Boateng. That's a former Michigan State Big Ten football player. Stopped him right in his tracks.
Another on-time throw finds Kobe Hudson for the first down to the 34-yard line. What a job by this team here. With under a minute to go, 15 seconds left now. They are already down to the Akron 33. And they've got an unbelievable kicker in Carlson. He was 20 of 22 last year. He was 7 of 8 from 40 plus. Which he did miss the extra point here tonight, but now Nix. And it's dropped, incomplete. Hudson with a second incompletion tonight by Nix and 10 seconds left.
Maybe a touch of an overthrow, or perhaps that's a route that was just a step or two too deep. A little bit of miscommunication. But with as many successful throws he's had today, that's going to be an easy one to look past.
Brother Daniel of Anders Carlson, the all-time great here at Auburn, now with the Las Vegas Raiders. Next pass caught Schenker. The 26, 7 seconds left. Maybe time for one more here before the field goal. What do you think?
No, 7 seconds.
Okay.
In general, 7 seconds of play. So no, there's no sense in trying to get anything. This is well within his range. Let's get into half. More points on the board.
So they will set up camp for a 44-yard attempt here for Anders Carlson. First field goal attempt of the season. As we said, 20 of 22 last year. How about it? 2 ticks left here in the first half, and it's 37-0 Auburn. They've scored on all 6 of their offensive drives here tonight. 5 touchdowns, a field goal. Pretty darn good.
Yeah. There's nothing that they've tried to roll out at them has not been successful. They've run their inside zone. They've run their counter action. They've done some swing passes. They've done quick game. They've taken shots deep. They've taken shots deep where Bo Nix had the confidence to take the check down, didn't try to force it. In years past, he's tried to force those balls into tight windows, but then the next drive, he takes another shot deep near the high red zone, and he's able to find an open Shedrick Jackson for an easy touchdown. Everything is working. This is an ideal start for an Auburn football program under the leadership of Brian Harsin.
That's going to take us to the end of the first half. Auburn racked up 382 yards. Bo Nix, 18 of 20 for 255 and 3 touchdowns. More touchdowns than incompletions. He was only 2 incompletions the entire half, and 1 ball was dropped. Auburn's going to get the second half kickoff as well, as if they needed any more at this point. 37-0 over Akron. Tank Bigsby also 2 touchdowns on the ground tonight. Star running back for the Tigers. As this crowd of 87,000 plus has been waiting for a while to be in this atmosphere. And they've been treated to a special first half tonight. Brian Harsin standing by with our Taylor Davis. Taylor.
Thanks, guys. Coach Harsin, this week you told us you wanted to see a tough, disciplined team that believed they can win. Have you seen that first half?
I think we played well. I think the defense came out and has done a great job of getting off the field. Offensively, we've been consistent. we're running the ball effectively, which is helping us. And then special teams, other than the one extra point that we missed, has been very good. So that was a great drive at the end there to get points, finish out the half properly. So got another half, make adjustments, come out, still need these guys to play fast, physical, like we talked about all week.
We've talked a lot about Bo Nix's development, specifically in the passing game. He went 18 for 20 in that first half. What impressed you about his play?
I think he's made good decisions so far, and I like that he ran the ball a couple times, got some first downs. He's able to do that. But he had a couple really good plays, just pulling it down, checking it down, making good decisions, and every drive ends in a kick. We'll be in good shape.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so Auburn leads it 37-0 at the half over Akron, dominating in all phases of this game. Welcome home. College football is back here in 2021. Pageantry here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. It's been electric, and it's a 37-0 lead for the home team here at the half. SEC halftime report comes your way on the other side of this break.
Welcome into the SEC halftime report. Dari Noka, Benjamin Watson, Gene Chizik. Good to have you along with us as we've got plenty to catch you up on from earlier in this week one Saturday, starting with Kentucky and Louisiana Monroe. And guys, a lot of talk about Mark Stoops bringing in Liam Cohen as offensive coordinator, who was on part of Sean McVay's group there with the Rams. I'm going to start throwing the ball. They got a dude that can throw the ball, although on that particular pass, Will Levis had the ball deflected at interception. And then on 3rd and 2, it's the Warhawks of UL Monroe, who did not win a single game all last season, who takes the lead.
Yeah, it was the first lead of the game, but I'm going to tell you this, it did not last long, because that pick you just saw, take a good look at it, because it didn't happen the rest of the day. This guy, Levis, was on fire today.
He's got a dude here, too, by the way.
He does, and he's got accuracy. But let me tell you what, Wan'Dale Robinson, he is going to be a legitimate guy in this league. Keep your eye on him.
By way of Frankfort, Kentucky, and then the University of Nebraska. And he got out of Lincoln and he went back to his home state. And then that's Josh Ali, who went 5 catches for a career best 136 yards. He and Robinson both go over 100. Robinson had 125. Here he is.
And it was the first time that 2 Kentucky receivers went over 100 yards since, not last year, 2 years ago, but 2011.
2011.
That would be 10, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So over a decade.
Here's more passing statistics. 3 completions of over 50 yards in one game. They had had 1 such completion in the last 2 seasons combined.
Reminds me of those Rams. So when you bring in a guy from the NFL who's coached the likes of Jared Goff, coached the likes of Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, then that's what you want to see from your passing game.
I like it. I like it a lot. Levis, 4 touchdown passes. First cat with 4 touchdown passes since Drew Barker in 2016, and here he is after his team's win.
A lot of things worked, and it was good to see those things finally click in after a little bit of a slow start. That's one thing that we've tried to focus on these past few weeks that we definitely want to get fixed, just starting a little faster. So that's going to be a point of emphasis for us.
Really pleased, encouraged. Couple bad throws early, but he really settled down, did some good things. It was nice to see us complete the ball down the field for some big plays.
Knowing that I was the starter here and my first time here, I just wanted to make sure that I was prepared as possible. So just really emphasized the preparation of the game plan and making sure that there were no loose ends. And in the game, we definitely had some things that needed to be corrected, things that are 100% preventable that we need to watch the tape and correct. But got the win, like I said, and just happy with how it ended out.
Now, what the name of Tim Couch is happening in Lexington now? They've been waiting to see some offensive fireworks through the air for a while, have these fans. 45 points, and they topped that 400-yard passing mark in a game for the first time in 7 years. And I don't want to overlook Chris Rodriguez going for 121 and a touchdown. I don't want to overlook the defense allowing 87 yards of offense on the day. A lot of things that were impressive. What struck you the most, Benjamin?
Well, it was toward the end of the game, and you mentioned Chris Rodriguez. Now, look, he led the league, and he had about 800 yards rushing or so last year, had 6.6 yards per carry last year. He led the SEC. And so just not to be outdone at the end of the game, he rattles off a 40-something-yard run. You look at his stats, he's got 125 yards, and he's got 6.6 yards per carry today. So keep what you do well, which is run the football. Add in the offense. I think that Kentucky, you hate to say something's a statement game early in the season, and they may not have come into this game saying, oh, we're going to make a statement in this game. But when you look at them, they made a statement in this game.
I just look at the firepower now that you have to defend as a defensive coordinator now, right? Look what Wan'Dale Robinson's going to bring to the table. You know, and I wasn't just impressed with him because he outran everybody for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. When he gets the ball in his hands after the catch, he's tough. He fights you. He won't go down. Josh Ali's got to be the happiest guy in the country because now he's not the only receiver, right? So now defenses have to pay attention to somebody else in the run game that you mentioned. But you know what I loved about today when I look at it from a defensive perspective? I look at what gives defenses problems. When you can run the ball, play action in 7-man protect, and hit those shots down the field, that's what gives defenses problems, those explosive plays. That's starting to happen now with his offense.
They ran well, they threw well, they defended well. You got to be thrilled if you're Mark Stoops at this particular point.
6 sacks.
Even against
today.
An inferior opponent,
yes,
the size of UL Monroe. All right, how about Arkansas taking on Rice? A lot of momentum established by the Razorbacks last season with the 3 wins, but they played tough in every game they played. K.J. Jefferson breaking free with his leg. K.J. Jefferson, 34-yard touchdown.
Yeah, this is what he brings to the table, right? He's got the athletic ability. He can strain defenses with his feet. Not so much in the pass game today, but great job starting out fast with a run game.
Oh, look at the defense kind of flying around a little bit. The problem is Grant Morgan called for targeting here.
And we've seen a lot of those already. I mean, the season is not even, the first week's not even over. We've seen several targeting calls, and so that's going to be an ongoing conversation like it has been.
Sam Pittman trying to plead the case for Morgan, but no good. So Morgan ejected, did not finish out the game. And then this, in the fourth quarter, linebacker Bumper Poole ejected for targeting. And this is impactful because this means that Bumper Poole will not play in the first half next week when they host Texas, and that will sting for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. And again, it's such a hard call. These kids are playing hard out there, and the ejection of the guys is the problem I have with it.
I would agree with that totally. Throw a flag, have a discussion about it, penalize the team, but just to be ejected for a play like that is really tough.
Slow start, but they score 31 unanswered to end the game, and Arkansas is 1-0. Meanwhile, news breaking this morning that Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin has tested positive for COVID-19. It is a breakthrough case. He is vaccinated. A lot of talk about how the entire Ole Miss program is vaccinated, but because of the positive, he will not coach Monday night against Louisville in Atlanta.
It's very disappointing to get it, just because we're 100% vaccinated and don't go anywhere but the office and home. So, but the great thing is, because I know some people say, well, you 100% vaccinated. Well, had we not been, we'd have a lot of close contact shut down and not playing in this game, including our quarterback. Obviously, I'm near him all day long. So, it was tough telling the players this morning, especially I told Matt before anyone else. But he's got this. He's come a long ways, and it's time for him to step up now. And he won't have me, but I know he'll do great.
Well, Matt Corral had a phenomenal season a year ago, and he looks to start it off in style on Monday, just without Lane Kiffin on the sideline. All right, a full 60-minute SEC football final. We've got it coming up for you tonight on the SEC Network when we're finished at the Swamp with Florida and FAU. Thanks for watching.
Oh my God. Halftime here from Auburn, Alabama. The Tigers leading Akron 37-0. Second half action still ahead.
37-0, Auburn leads Akron here as we get set to start the second half. Welcome back to Auburn, Alabama, everyone. Mike Corey alongside Ben Hartsock and Taylor Davis here on a unbelievable night in Jordan-Hare Stadium. And the electricity is here, and welcome back to college football 2021. All right, what did you see so far from this first half, obviously from the Auburn Tigers?
A lot of checks off the box. I saw deep pass, check. Run game, check. Look at this offense right here. Everything that you want to see. Look at this. Keeping your eyes downfield, scrambling, juking out defenders. Look at this, eyes downfield, great feet. The feet tell the story. You take a deep shot, you end up with a touchdown. Look at those feet. Again, eyes downfield, you throw a frozen rope. An absolute gem of a half for the first game of the season for Bo Nix. And Then on the defensive side of the ball, watch this. Pursuit all over the field. That time it's Papo. Cato Nelson being chased down by a defensive lineman. Trying to juke another one. Can't get away from him. Guys all over the field. Tremendous athleticism and then some overpowering. Right now, it is an overmatched opponent that Akron is facing.
Exactly what Brian Harsin wanted to see in the first half, and he got it. As you can see behind us, they got the $1 million new lighting system here that they're messing around with at the stadium, but it's pretty impressive. Here's some of your first half stats right now. 382 yards of offense for the Auburn Tigers in the first half, just the 74 for Akron. How about the average yards per play by Auburn? And then Denton, Bo Nix, he only threw 2 incompletions and 1 was on a drop ball, and he's already thrown 3 touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, and now it's getting to the point for Brian Harsin and Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator, to say, listen, this is like a scrimmage. It's like a preseason game. I don't even know if we'll see him in the second half, but if he is going to come out in the second half, it's simply for the circumstance of, listen, come out. There's momentum up for grabs. There's 2 times in a game where momentum's up for grabs. The opening kickoff and the kickoff after the second half. So if we get some more Bo Nix, it'll be here for a short amount of time, and then I expect to see some more of these backups for Auburn getting more and more playtime.
Well, and Auburn's going to get the ball to start the second half as well. The fans, the students, they're jumping, the band. Great performance at halftime here. You got almost 17,000 students. That 35-yard line all the way through the back of the end zone. The Shakers out. The first game of the Brian Harsin era here tonight at Auburn. Going just as planned. A lot of credit to Mike Bobo, too, the offensive coordinator, Derek Mason, defensive coordinator. Like you said, everybody's kind of doing their part here tonight in this game for the Tigers. You know, and you and I talked about this a bunch, Ben, about last season. A lot of people refer, of course, to last season. It was not a typical last season, if you will, for anybody. I don't want to say throw it out, but it's almost like, how do you even relate to last season? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. They're the normal circumstances of even getting to the stadium and seeing your family after the stadium. Those things were all taken away, and that has an impact on a young athlete. So I don't give credit to the teams that had a ton of success last year. I take it with a grain of salt, and the ones that struggled, I take it with a grain of salt.
100%. I'm right with you. Tank Bigsby. 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half. Bryce Wilson on the tackle for Akron there. It's a loss of 2.
Opening the game, Auburn started out 5 of their first 7 plays were runs, and then they went to much quicker, much more so to a pass-heavy approach. I look at that to say Auburn and Mike Bobo said, listen, it looks like we are going to be able to run. Let's start working on getting skills practice for Bo Nix.
Bigsby. Look at that speed off the edge. Tank Bigsby. 31.
Speed on absolute display right there. Jalen Hooks has the outside contained, and Tank Bigsby just runs right by him.
Next, dumps it off. They've done that a bunch tonight to Schenker, senior tight end.
We talked about getting the tight ends more involved, and Schenker has really gotten involved in that quick play as a check down receiver. Just run a quick little hank route, 5 yards up and out, get the ball out quickly. A good start here for Auburn, moving the ball quickly.
And he's very athletic, 6'4", 249, number 47 for Auburn. I mean, we've seen him, he has 5 receptions here tonight. That was a gain of 7. Shivers in the backfield now. Robertson on the catch. Nix has been very accurate tonight. 13-yard pickup and another first down.
And that's 8 different receivers that have receptions today. Maybe one of the best things that I'm seeing out of Bo Nix is his distribution of the ball. Running backs, tight ends, wide receivers, a lot of players getting a lot of opportunities tonight.
Shivers sets it up. $26-yard touchdown. He's got a rushing touchdown. He's got a receiving touchdown. A lot that he did on the back end after making a catch. But what an effort tonight by him as well.
Well, untouched all the way to the end zone. That's a huge credit to your offensive line. I mentioned John Schnecker had some catches today. He also had a great block to spring Shaun Shivers for a touchdown there.
44 on the board here tonight for Auburn. They've scored every time they've had the football. 6 touchdowns, a field goal. Shivers has 2. The route is on. Latest touchdown of the game scored by that man, Shaun Shivers. For Auburn, 44-0. 12:49 to play in this third quarter. 7 for 7 of the Tigers tonight. 6 touchdowns and the 1 field goal. That man, Carlson, who kicks off. A lot of guys getting involved in the offense. Tight end here tonight, Ben. Tight end.
Tight end, the position I played, I always said, we're men without a country. The offensive line won't claim you. The wide receivers don't want you. But Shanker here is getting into the action. Look at him. He does the dirty work, but they're throwing him footballs. He's got a bunch of receptions on the night. And then left side of the screen, watch 47. That cut block right there, and as well as all of those offensive line blocks. Shaun Shivers untouched all the way into the end zone.
That's what you need. You have to be the complete player at that position. You know it well to be able to be a blocker and have soft hands like that. As this run by Norrells. He's pushed out of bounds, right? I mean, that's excellent. I mean, everybody seems to be really focusing on the roles and doing it to the best of their ability here tonight if you're Auburn.
Yeah, the tight end is such a unique position that it is very multifaceted in its approach. And there are certain guys that are best suited for putting the hand in the dirt and blocking 6 techniques, defensive lineman right over your nose, and others are out there running seam routes, finding guys that can do both. That's when you get guys like Tony Gonzalez and Travis Kelce.
Second down, Akron. They've spread them out 5 wide. Nelson, pressure, sacked. T.D. Moultrie. Loss of 7 on the play.
T.D. Moultrie and Derek Hall, both edge players, are wreaking havoc on this Akron defense. Watch these guys coming right off the edge. A big swim step, rip move. And I mean, Cato Nelson doesn't even have time to throw that ball away before the either the Auburn defender is in his face trying to tackle, or the Akron offensive lineman is getting pushed back into his lap.
Well, that's what we had feared here tonight when we heard that they weren't going to have anybody in the backfield, really. And they went 5 wide. It's one-on-one up front. You know where the size advantage lies. And Moultrie is just having his way. 4 sacks tonight for this Auburn defense. 3rd and 11 here for the Zips. And they're going to call a timeout as the play clock was winding down.
You know, but I give Akron credit. Listen, we know that they're outmatched from a physical standpoint, but I see them continuing to fight. You look at their body language, there's no slump shoulders. They're continuing to work. They're continuing to listen to their coaches. They're engaged in this football game. So I credit this football program. Listen, the point spread on this was massive. Everybody knew that was the reality. That would be the case, but this team continues to fight, and I think that's what Tom Arth is looking for, is do things our way. You may get beat physically, but continue to stay in the fight.
Well, and I know that Akron wanted to kind of use some motion and get Auburn moving around a little bit. I think it's Auburn that's actually moved around a little bit. Moultrie's moved in different positions. You talked about that new defense now and the 3 down, but a multiple defense.
Yeah, there are times where Derek Hall and T.D. Moultrie that play the same position, that edge position, put them both on the field in passing situations and let them both rush off of each edge. And it's a nightmare for those 2 tackles.
What happens here? 3rd and 11 from the 24 for the Zeps.
Chips.
They back off the pressure, and Nelson throws on the run, and it's incomplete. Looking for Mumpfield. And Moultrie again with that QB pressure that time on Cato Nelson.
Yeah, but that time he came from the inside. They kept a wing on either end of that line of scrimmage to help chip those edge defenders. But this time they were able to get pressure from the interior, forcing Cato Nelson out of the pocket, and he has to throw an errant pass.
It's a very experienced defense here for Auburn. Moultrie's a senior. Wooden's just a sophomore. Haven't really talked about the corners too much, which means they've been outstanding. And we got Smoke Monday, a senior safety, Roger McCreary. This is going over the head of the punter. And we'll add 2 more to the board here for Auburn.
And
46.
You can see Tom Arth there. That's that mental errors. He knew that we were going to have to find chunk plays and limit chunk plays, but he's now got mental errors that he got to deal with.
Big night for the Tigers here, 46-0 over Akron. Early third quarter. They're passing the exam right there, as you say here in week 1. Safety as the snap went over the head of the punter, Ethan Slike. Kicking off from the 20 here.
Usually teams go with the punt after the safety. They're choosing to go with the kick.
Excellent field position here up to the 38-yard line. Donovan Kaufman.
So let's see who comes out there under center.
Right.
Would not be surprised if TJ Finley starts going into this huddle.
Bo Nix so far tonight, 20 of 22, 275 and 3 touchdowns.
There he is.
Yep, you're right. TJ Finley, here he comes, a transfer from LSU. The sophomore, his time now here with 11 or 10:59 to play in the third. And Jarquez Hunter is in the running back spot, and he gets the call and makes it a good one on his first carry of the night, all the way down inside the Akron 25-yard line. Gain of 37.
Watch the kick out of number 86 right here coming across the formation, opens up that hole, and then Hunter runs away from the entire defense.
Hunter again. Wow. 14-yard gain. Taylor, how about Finley coming in? You know, you got the LSU transfer and another SEC guy right there, right behind Nix.
Incredibly impressive. And even in the stature, there's a difference. He's listed at 6'7". This is a guy that had 5 games as a true freshman at LSU, and coaches say he has pushed Bo Nix to be his best, creating a level of competition that honestly, guys, hasn't existed in this quarterback room since Bo Nix has been here.
And TJ Finley is a guy that is a completely different animal than Bo Nix. Bo Nix is happy feet, quick, jittery. TJ Finley is a tall, long, lanky, takes a long time to move those feet. He's going to be a different style of quarterback, but in today's college football, second-string quarterbacks often need to help your team.
Sean Jackson is in the backfield now as well, and he has it. Jackson diving forward, the pile all the way to the goal line, and they cross it. No signal yet. Just shy of the touchdown. Wow, Sean Jackson, true freshman from Trussville, Alabama. You just saw Hunter, who was a true freshman out of Philadelphia, Mississippi. It's a first down here on the run, and it's 1st and goal from inside the 1.
Just watch the displacement of this line of scrimmage. These Auburn offensive linemen aren't just stalemating with the Akron defensive line. They are moving the line of scrimmage.
First and goal, the sneak from Finley. He's in, touchdown.
This is the first time that I've seen the Akron defense. The body language has changed. You can tell they have put up a good fight, but the pursuit has gone down. Tom R said, I'm not worried about what we play. I'm worried about how we play, specifically on that defensive side of the ball. They're going to have to get a jolt of energy to continue to fight because there's still a half of football left to play.
Tons of different players. Same result. Another touchdown drive. 62 yards in just 5 plays. Took them 2 minutes and 18 seconds. You got Bo Nix. You got TJ Finley. You got a host of running backs. Auburn's got it all tonight. $53-0 here tonight. Auburn over Akron. Still 8:41 to play in this third quarter. Mike Corey alongside former Ohio State and NFL tight end Ben Hartsock, along with Taylor Davis on the sidelines. Good to have you with us here tonight. The start of college football for these two. Auburn, Alabama. And it's Matheson who's going to bring it out here for Akron. Still at his feet. Flag is down up at the 35-yard line as Matheson gets across the 30. Fairly clean here tonight too, by the way. A few flags, but
yeah,
not too bad.
First game of the season,
game, yeah.
Absolutely.
Sometimes could get out of hand. Hasn't been that way. Ken Williamson is our referee tonight. Just 4 accepted penalties on the night.
During return, there was a legal wedge on the receiving team. Number 52 and 24 were lined up shoulder to shoulder in a blocking formation. That penalty will be enforced 15 yards from the end of the return. First down.
How about the Auburn great Derek Brown, now the defensive tackle for the Carolina Panthers, 7th pick of the 2020 draft. Just showed him on the big screen, and he's hanging out with our Taylor down on the sidelines.
Thank you, guys. Yes, he just got shown on the big screen. Quite the ovation. A guy who really needs no introduction, but like you said, former Auburn All-SEC defensive lineman, now with the Carolina Panthers, Derek Brown. Now, Derek, you were just telling me this is actually your first time here in Jordan-Hare just to watch. How's it feel from this vantage point?
Good. It's exciting to be able to see the crowd and, see it in a different view. Still being able to be down the field, it's exciting. But, just to watch these guys that I play with and the younger guys that just got here, it's exciting for me.
It's interesting. We've talked a lot about it already tonight. This is a new era for Auburn football. It's got to be interesting for you to get to watch as well, having experience here. What are you already seeing from Brian Harsin and this new era?
They put on the show tonight, man. I'm excited to see them. I wish the best for the program.
Now, defensively, we have talked about you and Marlon Davidson since you guys left. You had big shoes for these guys to fill, but T.D. Moultrie, Derek Hall, guys really stepping up. What do you expect to see moving forward the rest of the season as those guys lay their legacy?
All the guys that play with me, I expect a lot out of them. I'm not going to lie, because they already know what's up. But, T.D., Kobe, and freaking Derek Hall, those guys play with us. So, they know what it's like. They know what can come out of this. So, I'm watching them now. I love to see it.
Now, I know you're already showing out in the league and taking advantage of that opportunity, but what are some of your favorite memories here in Jordan-Hare?
All the Iron Bowl victories. Definitely all the Iron Bowl victories. Even guys now, I got guys in the locker room, we talk. I don't care who you are, you got nothing up on me.
Auburn fans will love that answer. All right, last one for you, Derek. Obviously, you're in the league now playing with the Carolina Panthers. How do you feel your time here at Auburn prepared you for the next level?
It just, it made that leap a little bit easier.
All right, well, hey, always great to see you. Keep showing out at the next level, and War Eagle.
War Eagle.
All right, good stuff, Taylor.
30-second timeout.
Talking trash in the locker room in the NFL is one of the all-time great pastimes. Love those rivalries, talking about throwing some shade about those Iron Bowls. I myself, as a Buckeye, love talking shade with those Michigan guys. putting the little. I wasn't ever a guy that would bet on those games. I was more of a humiliation bet kind of guy.
Okay.
Meaning, whenever Ohio State would beat Michigan, I'd make them wear my helmet out to practice the next day. Hey, you have to travel on a road trip wearing my Letterman's jacket. Maybe we could pass that along to Derek, and he can do that for some of the next Iron Bowls.
That's pretty good. Was there anybody that comes to your mind, like who was the ultimate, I guess, in that, or trash talking, or kind of giving it to teammates based on their alma mater or what they were doing or anything like that?
Not to an alma mater specifically. Well, no, I'll go back. Tom Brady and Mike Vrabel. Those guys are epic back and forth in their Ohio State-Michigan rivalry talk.
3rd and 6 for Akron. Nelson's pass is batted down at the line. Zykevius Walker got a hand on it there, number 3 for Auburn. Boy, I think this defense, as we've seen here tonight.
More penetration. That time gets the big paw up into the air. Auburn defense so strong. Unfortunate for the Akron Zips there. They had a nice kickoff return. It can be a little bit of a spark sometimes, but unfortunately it comes back due to the illegal wedge, and then they just spun their wheels, couldn't get anything going.
Clean snap this time. Sleg. Good high kick. Robertson. A little room over there. Let's see. Tackled down the 45-yard line. 54-yard kick, a return of 19 yards as we're just across the halfway point of the 3rd quarter. What else is going on here? Week 1 officially of college football. Alabama no trouble today. How about Oklahoma? I think Tulane with a late comeback there, lost by 5.
Yeah, we were eating lunch as that game was happening. It was well in hand, but Tulane kept fighting and then took that one down to the wire.
You saw Ohio State, your former team, earlier?
Yeah.
A little bit of trouble early, but then they handled Minnesota.
Yeah, a little bit of trouble early, but Minnesota gave Ohio State more than they wanted. I think Ohio State fans, C.J. Stroud, the new quarterback, got a little bit of deer in the headlight early in the game, but settled in as the game progressed.
I'd like to see what Cincinnati can do this year. Off to the fast start with a win there, but up at number 8 to begin the season. And North Carolina, the upset loss in a rowdy Virginia Tech atmosphere the other night. Catch by Xavion Capers here for Auburn, gain of 13 yards. First down as TJ Finley is the quarterback, the backup in right now.
You mentioned that top 10. Mac Brown said it himself about that North Carolina team. We were overrated. You got Sam Howell, but they lost all of their wide receivers from a year ago, their 2 running backs. So that cupboard was pretty bare, and they looked as such in that game.
Flag thrown here. It's Malcolm Johnson Jr.
What'd you?
Yet another wrinkle to this Mike Bobo offense. That time they bringing in the jet sweep.
Yeah.
Holding, offense number 87. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
The thing of it is here with Auburn, right? They're going to face 5 preseason top 25 teams this year. You know the schedule is always there, of course, when you play in the ACC or SEC, excuse me. Alabama State's the next game on the list, but Ben, heads up, you get ready for week 3, September 18th, and number 19, Penn State.
Yeah, and Penn State took care of business today against Wisconsin. The reality is when you're in the SEC West, you're going to play a lot of top 25 teams week in and week out.
Taylor, it gets pretty real pretty early, right, for this Auburn team this season?
It really does, and honestly, that's expected when you play at Auburn. You know, like you said, it comes with the territory of the SEC, but you play Georgia, you play in-state rival Alabama every single season. They're going to go to LSU. Texas A&M is rising. Ole Miss is rising. Arkansas, and yeah, throw in a trip to Happy Valley with a whiteout on primetime ABC 3 weeks into the season. Honestly, this matchup here tonight, Alabama State next week, for this coaching staff, if there's any questions or anything to discover about this Auburn team, you'd rather do it then.
That's a good point. And Ben, to your point as well, I think they're trying to do that a little bit in this game and get a lot of those different sets and players involved early. We've seen it.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen 3 wideout sets. We've seen empty backfields, jet sweeps, bunch formations, big compressed formations, 3 tight ends, multiple tight ends, 2 backs, 1 back, swing passes. It really has been the full gamut of offense, and the SEC is going to have to do a lot of studying to be ready to face Auburn.
Finley, and it's incomplete. One of Malcolm Johnson Jr., 4th and 10. First time tonight that Auburn is not going to score on one of their offensive drives.
You can see some of that Akron defensive line stunt got home and was able to get some pressure. And TJ Finley is a guy that, you know, transferring over from LSU, again, we talked about with the pandemic and the COVID last year, so many weird circumstances. He's a guy that I think that has to have his confidence built back up, and I sense that when I talk to offensive coordinator Mike Bobo. They're trying to bring him back confidence-wise.
Five minutes to play in the third, just under that, with a 53-0 lead for Auburn tonight here at home against Akron. It's time to represent Auburn by showing us how big you're going tonight. Submit your best fan video to hashtag #ShowYourSaturday, and you might just get your 15 seconds of fan fame. So check that out this season. New quarterback in the game now for Akron as well. DJ Irons, who's a transfer out of Iowa Central Community College, junior out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. His first play is a pass. It's caught by Qualls, and George Qualls has it for a 9-yard gain up close to the 30-yard line, maybe a first. We'll see where they spot it. Yep, first down, Zips.
You know, I expected to see DJ Irons a little bit earlier in this game. When you talk to Tom Arth and Brian Gasser, the offensive coordinator, they had expectations of a package of Wildcat, of called quarterback runs for DJ Irons. Looks like he's going to get his opportunity to command the full gamut of this offense late in this game. They said he has a tremendous amount of confidence, and he really commands the huddle.
Matheson in motion. Handoff goes to Norrells. Just 1 yard off to the right side. You had Zach Gibson, the redshirt freshman quarterback who was the starter last year, as Nelson sat out, had the surgery. Gibson now the third-string quarterback behind Irons, who you're seeing right now.
And Irons come in as a bigger presence, 6'6", 215. I got to see him during warm-ups. You talk about a guy that commands a huddle. He is a much bigger presence in that huddle.
What do you know from a guy here like Tom Arth, right? I mean, it's been tough. One win, I mean, to say the least. In the first 2 years, he wants to come back. He wants to show people that he can turn this around and get this group moving in the right direction. This is obviously up against it here tonight as Matheson makes a nice play, gets into Auburn territory. But from your talks with him, friendship with him, what about Tom Arth and what he's going to do from this point moving forward?
Well, I know that Tom Arth loves football. He loves the game, and even in a shellacking that he's taking right now, he's going to find a way to develop these young men. And we mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, that he's a guy that wants these guys to learn life lessons. And yeah, they wanted to come out here and find a way to get an upset, but it's not happening. But he's going to continue to focus and keep these guys' attention on, hey, find a way to continue to fight till the bitter end of this game.
Norrells here. And I like the fact that they were trying to get some of their playmakers out in space. I mean, you know that when you don't have the size advantage and you're undersized up front, get your guys downfield, blocking, see if your playmaker can make a move, get by some guys. They worked it out a little bit tonight on those.
Yeah, you know, they obviously had to abandon the inside run quickly, but you see a lot of motion across the backfield. They'll bring guys from out in the slot all the way through the backfield. They've emptied out into empty formations a couple of different times, and they've worked screens, tunnel screens, try to find weaknesses. It does no good to continue to try to run right down the teeth of this vaunted, talented, athletic Auburn defense.
And Irons being chased by Moultrie, who's again been stellar, number 99 tonight for Auburn defensively.
253-pound Moultrie. He
Right.
is flying down
yeah.
those sidelines. Amazing. You know, I mentioned Tom Arth and how he loves the game. I mean, you talk about a guy that has been a starter. He's been the stud at his college. He's been a backup. He's been in the NFL Europe. He played in Canada. He played in he played the Arena League. The guy loves the game. He's going to be around it his entire life. And I could have called that back in 2005 when we shared a locker together.
Here's Williams. He's shy of the first down. What did Peyton say? You know, he really enjoyed having him because he can go to the sidelines, get what he saw, and you know, in terms of being a backup.
Yeah, when Tom Arth was a practice squad player, he would have assignments given to him by the offensive coaches or Peyton Manning himself to say, listen, I think I see a specific little thread of a defender that gives a little bit of a key. I want you to go back through the past 2 years worth of tape and give me a report on that. And Tom Arth did that week in and week out. That is grunt work. That is yeoman's work. He had to still do all of the other things of practicing and preparing and running the scout team, but he also did the work for Peyton Manning as well, and it's helped him as a coach.
4th and 5 pass is caught by Williams for the first down. Diving catch, incredible, to the 18-yard line. They'll take that. That was special.
As you see some of this Akron offense have success, we have to know that they're also going to be rotating in some backups on the defensive side of the ball with Auburn as well, getting to see more and more guys getting opportunities. Great job there by Irons, lofting that ball over into a tight window.
That's a 22-yard gain and the first time inside the red zone for Akron here tonight. You know Auburn doesn't want to give up any points here as Irons now takes off. And he's close to a first down. It's another great thing about Tom Arth I wanted to mention his wife Lauren. He's got 5 children, and it's all about family here too at Akron too. That's a big part of what he's bringing to this group.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's echoed by his coordinators. They're coaches that want to be in the building till the very end, and they want to outwork everybody else. Tom Arth says, listen, when it's time to work, work. When it's time to go home, love on your family, and be with them.
And they're going to try to put up their first points of the night when we come back. We finished 3 quarters here tonight from Auburn. It's the Tigers 53, the Zips nothing. Back with a 4th after this. Coming up later tonight on SEC Network, SEC Football Final is back. Dari Noka, Gene Chizik, Chris Dorian, Ben Watson will take you through all the biggest stories of the day and break down all the games. It's coming up tonight, 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. How cool is this scene here tonight at Auburn? They've got this new $1 million lighting system where the lights should just come on the flick of a switch and they can just play with it. They got the orange going. I mean, this is awesome here.
It's spectacular. Back when we played ball, when they turned the lights off, remember it'd take 15 minutes for them to cycle back on?
Yeah.
And now the things that they're able to do change. I've been in a couple stadiums that have these environments. It is truly spectacular. It really engages the fan base. It's such a cool, amazing, and engaging thing that you really can't experience. The television doesn't do it justice. Being here in person really tells the story.
Second down, Akron. Start of the 4th quarter. Irons has it. Guns it. Catch is made. Matheson first down. First and goal coming up from the 6.
Well, guys, back to this new lighting system. In less than fortunate timing, these were actually installed prior to the 2020 season, which is when they were supposed to be debuted, and then 2020 did what 2020 did, and not as many people were able to be in attendance here at Jordan-Hare. So these students are actually seeing these lights for the first time here tonight. It's electric. Obviously, the crowd has kind of thinned out, but the student section is still invested in this, and those lights help.
No doubt. It's very amazing. I haven't seen that really at any other stadiums, to be honest with you, here as Irons carries. You know, and speaking of being invested, you would think this Auburn defense, right, Ben? They don't want to give up a score here.
Well, I'm sure that Brian Harsin and Derek Mason, the defensive coordinator, are talking to these players saying, hey, hold this shutout together. There's some starters out there. Roger McCreary at the corner is still out there, but there's a lot of backup players in there, and those starters are challenging these guys, saying, listen, we know it's a blowout, but we want to have a shutout to carry into this week after this weekend's game. So this is when you talk about clean football, and that's what Brian Harsin really wanted to get out of this Auburn team, this is an opportunity to bow up and have a clean goal line stand.
Place is electric. You saw the numbers. 79% win percentage in this building. That's 7th all time. It is 2nd and goal. Irons. And the flat. Norrells, he has it. It's a touchdown. Akron.
And that was on a starter right there by Darius Knighton. On the swing pass, Norrells does a good job there. A little bit of a hesitation move once he catches the ball and is able to get into the end zone to break the shutout.
That drive really set up by that amazing falling backward catch by Anthony Williams on a 4th down play for Akron. And kept that alive for them to go down there and get this touchdown. Extra point's good.
13 minutes, 28 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
This guy's going to be good. Jonzel Norrells. He's a true freshman, returning as a true freshman, if you will, getting that year back from last year. A lot of football in him. Touchdown, first of the night for the Zips. Great view from the pylon cam here on the first touchdown of the night by Norrells for Akron. You're going to see a lot more of those views on all SEC games this season. It's an initiative across the entire conference. We've got that at every stadium now, and we'll have a lot more of those looks. As Kaufman is on the return here for Auburn.
12 views, each camera.
Right.
Each camera has multiple views. Cameras everywhere. You can't hide anywhere.
That's
Everything's being watched now.
See, there they are. See all the little spots? Like your car. Now the cars, you have like 12 cameras on your car.
Down the goal line, down the back of the end zone, down the sideline.
Yeah.
As a player, we always said, listen, the more camera angles, the better. 1, I get to be on tape, and 2, get the measurement right. Did he break the plane? We always want him to get it right.
And obviously, pylon cam does just that. It's a great look. Yeah, because it's tough, you always got the official in the way, right, and everything like that. That's a great view down there.
Some more substitutes coming in for this Auburn offensive line. New guys getting an offensive line is a cohesive unit. And you've got to have a lot of different moving pieces. You want to have your starting 5, but you also know that it's hard and rare for those 5 guys to stay healthy the whole season. So good opportunities for these young guys.
Jarquez Hunter in the backfield. Gain of 3.
These young running backs continuing to get opportunities as well. I honestly thought that we'd see a little more Sean Shivers in the second half, but we knew that we would eventually get to see some of these guys further down the depth chart. And you know that in the SEC, you expect a 1-2 punch at that running back, but now they've got 3 and 4 deep in their stable of running backs.
Well, think of the punch here tonight. 250 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns for Auburn in this game. 3 minutes gone by here in the 4th. And the pass incomplete. And Charles Amankwa, who was on the coverage that time for Akron.
The development of TJ Finley there too. I mentioned the fact that Mike Bobo is trying to continue to develop his confidence and bring him back. Want to work the balance, less flick of his motion. He's such a big, long athlete. Sometimes he tries to compress it. They're trying to get him to connect the upper and lower half of his throwing motion.
Oscar Chapman the punt. Michael Matheson is back for Akron. 4th and 4 here. Matheson muffs it. And they were able to recover it. Day has it for Akron. And it'll take us to a timeout. 11:43 to go in the contest. All Auburn here tonight. Every Saturday, Marty McGee and SEC Nation bring you the extensive SEC game previews you won't find anywhere else. The next Saturday morning, they'll be in Fayetteville at the University of Arkansas, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 Central, followed by SEC Nation. Both are on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. SEC action here today. We were just watching this before our game came on board. Louisiana Tech, Mississippi State, and missed a 46-yard field goal at the end. Could have won it. Bulldogs with a comeback win, 35-34. Razorbacks, Wildcats win today. Mizzou won as well.
Then the news out of Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin testing positive, going to miss the game on Monday.
Norwell's on the carry.
Stop for number 31, Chandler.
How different is that when your coach isn't on the sidelines? Just
I don't know that in my 4 years of college and 10 years in the NFL that I ever had a game that wasn't coached by the head coach. It absolutely would be different, odd, strange. I think with different programs, it's different. Some coaches lead from the front, some others are led more by the coordinators.
well, and how much that's also tied to the quarterback as well, too, and that connection there.
Yeah, but Lane Kiffin is one of those guys that absolutely is the face of that program.
Right.
He's obviously intricately involved in that offense with Matt Corral and the development of him, so those communications, it's going to be different. I know that every team, because of last year's realities, have contingencies in place. You never want them to come to reality, though.
Right, right. Sailing the pass was Irons looking for Qualls. Flag is down in midfield.
You know, go back to Lane Kiffin as well. You know, they were one of the first programs to come out with Lane Kiffin proudly declaring that they had 100% vaccination, and himself included. So this has to be so frustrating.
Offense, number 45 was covered up. Pass crossed the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, previous spot. Repeat first down.
Yeah, it is tough.
Has to be so frustrating to have done everything right, crossed every box and crossed every T and dotted every I, but nonetheless, COVID comes in and wrecks that situation. I know that's going to be a disappointing, and it will be. How big of a factor, we'll see, but nonetheless, you can't just explain your head coach not being on the sideline, not being there the night before, not being able to communicate the message that you feel is important to your team leading up to a game.
First and 15 now for Akron. Norrells again. And ripped down in the backfield. Loss of 6.
More depth of these guys getting in as backups, getting these reps, and Norrells is going to learn. You're not able to give up ground. He had that mid-zone, tried to bounce it outside, but you can't bounce it outside and lose ground while in pursuit because you didn't even make it close. You ended up taking a 4-yard loss on that run.
Second and 21, Norrells goes out in motion. Irons still looking now, tucks and runs.
As Irons tucks that ball, works out towards the sideline, and unfortunately he finds Derek Hall, the guy that's been wreaking havoc rushing the passer. He now drops into the flat. That's one of the things that this edge position is going to do under Derek Mason's multiple front defensive look. You're going to be rushing at different times, and other times he's going to drop into the flat and play a zone, play an area.
You still got your first line defense in here right now, it seems like. I mean, where's some of the other guys?
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised, really surprised. Not everybody, but at different points I've seen starters still out there.
We saw 89, they have 2 J.J. Pegues as well. There's a pass, and it's caught. Oh, Matheson, wow. First down, Akron. 24-yard pickup there as they found a little gap. And Matheson gets it to the 34-yard line of the Tigers.
They said DJ Irons, this kid's confident. That is a dangerous throw into a tight window. He flips his hips around and is able to deliver that ball just past the outstretched arms of Ro Torrance.
These two of the best catches we've seen tonight have been by Matheson here and then Williams in the previous series for Akron, in which they scored the touchdown. Now they got 1st and 10 at the 34. Anthony Williams back in the backfield. He rolls out. Matheson again. That's what we were talking about a little bit earlier, right? I mean, that's where you can achieve some success there. Get your guy one-on-one, let him make a play.
And that play right there, fortunately, they ran a blitz. Auburn runs a blitz right into the teeth of that screen right there. So that's fortunate for Akron right there, but unfortunately now it looks like Matheson comes up a little bit lame. You see the blitzer there coming off of the edge. Gets the ball. Matheson trying to make a move. He's got some shiftiness.
He's able to come off the field. But yeah, positive yardage though, you know, 3, 4, 5 yards, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I would continue to work that. Work those edges. It does no good to try to work into the teeth of this Auburn defense. You're not able to run in between the tackles. You're not able to run your inside zone. So run sweeps, run jets, run swings, run slant routes.
Irons in trouble and is going to be knocked down. And Marquise Burks tripped him up, 92 there.
Just look at this Auburn defensive line continue to pursue. You've got the edge rushers coming from the outside, and then when the quarterback steps up in the pocket, those interior defensive line are pushing the pocket and collapsing it from all angles. These are athletic quarterbacks that Akron has rolled out onto the field, both DJ Irons and Cato Nelson. Auburn has done a spectacular job today of keeping them corralled on the outside and then collapsing the pocket from the inside.
They have 10 tackles for losses tonight by Auburn. That was a loss of 6. Now they flip it to Tony Grimes Jr. He's going to be shy of the first down, but gives him an opportunity here on 4th and short coming up.
That little pop pass, forward pass as Grimes is coming across. Fortunate that wasn't dropped. Not a real clean exchange, but those are, again, let's try to continue to be creative. This is Arth, right? We're going to continue to keep chopping against this wood and trying to find a way to crack this thing.
Well, they did on the last drive. Can they do it here again? 4th and 3. They got to get to the 24-yard line. 6 minutes to play in the game. Singleton, the motion man. Timeout, Auburn. We'll be back. 4th and 3 for the Zips. 5:51 to play in tonight's game. Fourth and 3 coming up here in a moment for Akron. Let's get to this play here first as they try to get some more points on the board. Scored in their last sequence. Set up with 3 wide receivers.
4th down 3 from the 27.
DJ Irons. Singleton in motion. Irons looks for him. He's got him. First down, Akron to the 20-yard line. How about some of the staff members for this Auburn group here? You're bringing in a new staff, which keeps some guys, and they're very important to the mix here, aren't they, Taylor?
Absolutely. I think for Coach Harsin, he came in here knowing, okay, I have to learn where I am and what I'm doing. He brought in 2 coordinators with SEC backgrounds, but he kept 2 Auburn greats on staff, and they are making such a difference here on this staff. First of all, Carnell Cadillac Williams. You said Cadillac, everyone perks up around here, but he is still on this staff as the running backs coach. And when you watch Tank Bigsby, you feel like you're watching a future great, and he is being coached by an Auburn great. And then Zach Etheridge has been kept on this staff as the cornerbacks coach. And this was a guy who actually sustained a life-threatening neck injury while playing here for the Tigers, and then a couple seasons later won a national title. Both of these guys not only had success on the field, they had success on this field.
Yeah, there's something to be said about knowing football, and it's another thing to know something about Auburn football, to know about this specific fan base, what these coaches want, what it means to this part of the country.
Yeah, Etheridge on that, captain on that championship team back in 2010. Irons in trouble, he's brought down again. It's the 11th time in the backfield tonight by this Auburn defense. Dre Butler this time, 49 gets it done. And 6 sacks overall.
Romello Height bringing the pressure off of the edge. And then it was Butler from the inside. That's been the recipe that they've been using all night. You've seen Akron try to counteract by using some chips from the running backs and the tight ends.
Oh, really? I was going to ask.
But when you do that, you have less guys out in the formation. So it's a balancing act for Tom Arth and this offensive staff.
3rd and 15 now, with Williams in the backfield. Whistle and a timeout by Akron. 3:39 remaining. Play clock is winding down.
Prior to the expiration of the play clock, timeout, Akron.
(53-7) right now. Auburn with 3:39 to go before they are on their way to being 1-0 and winning 14 of the last 16 season openers. Akron faced with a 3rd down and 15 right now from the Auburn 25-yard line.
Third down, 15 from the 25.
See what Irons has here. Some big catches by Williams and Matheson. In motion here is Mumfield. Pressure coming, dumps it off Matheson, and he's going to be tackled down. It's going to be 4th down and 13. What about what Akron's got coming up here?
Yeah, they got to go and play a Temple team that, that's a winnable game, but Bryant is an opponent that they should get a win. And then they got to travel again, just like tonight. They're going to have to go take their medicine traveling to Columbus and facing Ohio State. But listen, the success of Akron's football team doesn't hinge on tonight, and it doesn't hinge on their performance against Ohio State. That's what Tom Arth is going to be continuing to convey to his guys.
Corey Smeagol on a 40-yard field goal, and he gets it for Akron. 2:48 to go, 53-10. Smeagol's a transfer out of Syracuse, sophomore this season.
And that's Tom Arth taking the scrimmage approach. You know, in a game situation, you obviously, when you're competing for the actual game, you want to try to get the touchdowns there. But hey, we haven't had an opportunity to get our kicker on the field. Let's get him some game reps. Let's get him in a big environment. I know it's late in the game, but that's another development opportunity for a kicker.
They will take it. Scoring on the last couple of offensive possessions. Mike Corey alongside former NFL tight end and Ohio State graduate Ben Hartsock tonight with Taylor Davis on the sidelines. Got to thank my brother Brian Corey, our spotter. Good to be back with you here. It's been 2 years and we're back. Ed Spida, great Ed Spida on stats. Thanks as always, awesome job. Our producer tonight, Tom Archer. Director Richie Basili, along with Courtney Thompson, T-Mac, Tim McDermott, Amy Kimball, Tom Small, Miles Fish, and David Winston on replays tonight. Great job, guys. Rick Wallace, Ben Williams, James Davis in audio. So many people helping us out here tonight. A great crew. Thanks, everybody.
What an amazing environment. What a great place to get back to for the opening of college football slate. These fans have been spectacular. The student section has been really amazing.
Really has been an outstanding atmosphere here. And a great way to kick things off here for this 2021 season.
And we saw it there as we came back that Tom Arth continues to coach his guys, continues to be engaged. urging, developing, talking to them each and every opportunity they have. And I'm impressed with the fight. I'm impressed with DJ Irons, the quarterback that came in here in the second half. I know he's faced some backups, but he's brought a different dimension, a spark. We talked to the offensive staff. They talked about that he commands a huddle. He's 11 for 11.
I mean, that's out of control, right? I mean, I know it's late, like you said, but 11 for 11 for 119 yards and a touchdown. Hunter for Auburn. Jarquez Hunter. Did he lose his shoe?
Yeah.
Yes. No, Hunter didn't. One of the players did. Oh, yes, he did.
That was.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah. That's right. Got the different colored socks going on there.
Good job by Akron by forcing that the running back to bounce out of the formation there. But as he's going, he breaks an arm tackle, but he does lose a shoe along the way. Credit that young man from keep going. Foot's vulnerable in that circumstance. Cleats flying everywhere.
Sean Jackson is in now. And Jackson powers his way up the middle for a first and more. We had two true freshmen there, Jarquez Hunter and Sean Jackson, 27 and 44. It's a gain of 16.
Sean Jackson at 236 pounds. That was on full display right there. He was a big man. Not sure who came up to make that tackle, but he paid a penalty for running into Sean Jackson with a full head of steam.
Hunter's back in. Hunter. Nice job looking for the blockers. Wow, I could hear that hit. And taking a shot that time. Hunter able to stand up and pick up 14 yards.
Watch Akron here. Akron is doing a good job of wadding everything up on the inside, but these running backs are so talented that they are able to break back across the formation, come out the backside, and there just is nobody left there. Akron has committed so many of their players to wadding everything up in the meat of that when they break contain, there's nothing left for them.
Total yardage tonight for Auburn, 597. They can tack on a few more, and now they're over 600.
That's good, right? I've heard that's good.
That's pretty darn good.
I've heard that's pretty good.
Well, and you made a point to me during the timeout. This has been stellar tonight. You've made the plays. You've done what you had to do. But let's just be frank. There's been guys wide open.
Yeah.
There's been guys that, you haven't had to. I mean, Bo Nix, not going to take anything away from him, but.
Yeah, but Bo Nix threw to some wide open targets.
Yeah.
Guys that there weren't defenders even in the frame as we watched it on replay.
Hunter's in for the touchdown for Auburn.
But to continue that point, Mike, you're exactly right. That Bo Nix has had a spectacular game, and Tank Bixby and Sean Shivers and even these young running backs have had a great opportunity to get their feet wet, live game action, full stadium, all of that excitement. But Bo Nix also threw to just absolutely wide open wide receivers, and those windows that he had the fortune. There were a couple of those passes that maybe were a touch behind. There's going to be a lot tighter windows. The margin for error is going to shrink up as they continue to play into the SEC slate.
That's a good point. Extra point's good, 60-10. How about Hunter? He's got 110 yards tonight on 9 carries and that touchdown that you just saw.
The ability for these guys to come in as freshmen and perform is just, it's amazing. It truly is amazing.
Saw Bo Nix a moment ago, who was 20 of 22 tonight with 275 yards and 3 touchdowns. He finished with more touchdown passes than incompletions.
And no interceptions.
Right.
School record 91% completion percentage.
Yeah, for a minimum 20 attempts, and he has it.
And a guy like Hunter, who wasn't even in the two deep, the depth chart,
right,
goes out and rushes for 100 yards tonight. A lot of things going right for this Auburn program. But you have to know that Brian Harsin, he'll find his errors. He mentioned it at the halftime. They missed an extra point. They had a false start down on the goal line. You can't afford to do that against a superior opponent. They were able to overcome and still punch it in for a touchdown to overcome. But there have been some mistakes throughout this game that I'm sure that he'll overemphasize. That was always maddening as a player, is when you have a great game like this and the coach wants to ream you for each and every tiny little minute detail that maybe you tripped up on.
Under 30 seconds left here tonight. A few more thanks I want to send out to our video guy, Tim Bellamy, tonight, our outstanding camera crew here in this one. Tim LaBeouf, Kurt Rare, Frank Reeves, Robert Owens, Tom Winnington, and Tracy Oden. Thanks, guys. Excellent work here on this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. For a guy doing his first television game, it's been nice to have a camera crew.
Hey, man, you were awesome tonight, I tell you. Didn't sound like it was your first game. Great working with you.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous amount of fun, and what an incredible environment. I'm grateful to ESPN and the SEC Network to give me this opportunity. It's just incredible to be in an electric environment like Jordan-Hare tonight.
Hey, first of many more. What a place to start, right?
Absolutely.
Irons his pass, gets Matheson. It's going to be a bright spot for this team moving forward here. Michael Matheson, sophomore wide receiver, number 3.
Just so impressed with Akron's continued fight. These guys just continue to keep scrapping away, and DJ Irons, as he's come in, has been a real spark plug. Continues to throw nothing but completions. You have to wonder if that'll be, if this young player maybe supplants the old dog moving forward, because he has looked really, he brought a different dynamic.
That's a good point. Matheson has 8 receptions tonight, number 3 for Akron. 23 ticks left here in this one. So it's just a second ever meeting between these two. Auburn won the first way back in 1988, 42-0. More than likely this will be a 60-10 victory here. We'll see what happens. Delay a game.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
Akron defeated a Power 5 opponent, Northwestern. It was 3 years ago, back on September 15, 2018, 39-34. I knew this was going to be a monumental challenge here tonight, but Tom Arthur going back on the right track. But let's give a lot of credit here to Auburn, Brian Harsin, and the staff as well on the other side. Probably feels pretty good to get that first one out of the way.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Solid execution all around. And yeah, I mean, he could come out and say, yeah, there was a few mistakes, a few penalties here and there, but
yeah, he'll speak to Taylor, and I'm sure he'll have high praise for his team, but he'll find some chinks in the armor that will be addressed. But nonetheless, this is a great start, clean, high football IQ on display. Development of his quarterback, development of his young freshman star tailback, or sophomore tailback in Tank Bigsby. A lot of positive things for Auburn fans to be excited about.
Yeah, there's some smiles right there from Harsin, who got a glimpse of it and shakes hands with Tom Arth. And a 60-10 final. Oh, there you go.
Big smile.
Yep. Well, you got that defense, McLean and company playing like they do tonight. They're going to be in pretty good shape. Chandler Wooten, you just saw there, 31.
The guys coming from all angles, right? We talked about Derek Hall and T.D. Moultrie. Those guys were wreaking havoc on the edge. But there were also guys, Marcus Harris and Tony Fair from the inside. Owen Papo and Zacoby McLean were just flying all over the field. Really an impressive. Maybe we didn't spend enough time on this Auburn defense tonight. They were really, really lights out.
Well, they had 11 tackles for losses. They had 6 sacks. And offensively, they had over 600 yards of offense. So both sides tonight. In the 129th season for Auburn football. It's a veteran group, too, as well. You know, you look at down the roster, they have 22 players who have already got their bachelor's degree. That's the most of any SEC school. And that veteran defensive group, and then Bo Nix certainly showed what he can do tonight.
Yeah, it was just really, really impressive. His best game a year ago was the LSU game, and as good as that performance was there, he at times looked electric. Just the ability to sense pressure in the pocket and escape like Houdini, but then there were times where he'd get happy feet and he'd throw with his toes pointed the wrong direction, or he'd force a throw, and he really corrected that tonight. There were times where he took his check down, even when there may have been an opportunity to take a deep shot. He was able to distribute the ball to a lot of different receivers. I believe 7 different receivers caught a pass from him today. He got the tight end involved. Really, a really spectacular performance for Bo Nix tonight.
First regular season non-conference game for this Auburn group in 651 days. And they get it done here in this victory tonight over Akron, 60-10. In a moment, we're going to catch up with Brian Harsin. Taylor Davis will have him for us. Yeah, it's the family. How about that? You come from Boise to Auburn, Alabama. His wife Kess, daughters Devin and Dane, and son Davis. And so after all that time out west, now here in the toughest conference in the country, and game 1 in the books, 60-10. He's with Taylor.
Thanks, guys. Well, Coach Harsin, a lot of work and preparation to get to this point, and you start the season out with a W. What did you learn about your team tonight?
Well, you said it, all the work, preparation showed up, and still things that we're going to improve on, but they did play 4 quarters. That's what we asked them to do. It was good to get some other guys in there as well to watch them play, but overall, just the execution, I think the coaching staff, the communication, all the things that you really have to focus on to play a really good game, I thought we did that. So we played good football tonight. Credit to Akron. I know they worked hard to prepare themselves to come out here and play, and this environment was awesome. I think it was just good to get back out here and play in front of our fans and play in front of this environment here. We haven't had a chance to do that in a long time, and so that brought a lot of energy to our team that we just can't create in practice. So this environment gave us a lot of juice, and I thought our guys responded the right way.
You told us this was still going to be an offense that wanted to run the football, be downhill. We certainly saw that, but also a lot of versatility in the passing game, led by a confident Bo Nix. Over 600 yards of total offense. What impressed you on that side of the ball?
Well, we wanted to run it. I thought we ran the ball well. We took care of the ball. That was the biggest thing that impressed me tonight. We took care of it. We have to continue to do that. Bo made great decisions. I thought receivers did a good job of getting open and creating separation with the DBs. But overall, it's just about every play on offense and executing and taking care of the ball and putting ourselves in manageable down and distances. I thought we did that. We didn't have to punt very much tonight, which is good. So we were able to move the ball and sustain drives, which comes down to running it and being able to execute on 3rd downs, and I thought our quarterback did a good job of that tonight. Bo did. And then just to see the backs come out here and run it, to see the O-line pave the way, the tight ends doing their job in the run game, that's what you want to see.
Well, Coach, you started your Auburn career with a win. Go enjoy it.
All right, War Eagle, thank you.
All right, 60-10, the final score tonight. A happy Brian Harsin and family, and Bo Nix and company with the win here over the Zips. How about it, Ben?
Just a tremendous performance. You want to start off with a high note and just a ton of things that they're going to be able to teach off of. But run game, pass game, your quarterback development, everything went as well as you could possibly hope tonight.
I enjoyed it. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Let's do it again.
We will. For Taylor Davis, Ben Hartsock, Mike Corey saying so long from Auburn, Alabama. Thanks for watching. Tigers victorious tonight, 60-10. Hope you've enjoyed it. Have a